I just realized I was talking that whole time and my microphone was muted. Hey Maggie, how's it going, man? It never fails. It's like it's impossible to be a streamer and not occasionally leave the microphone on mute while talking. So everyone just sees this. But you know, no audio's coming out. All right. We're not going to go through all the conversations with everyone because it doesn't matter. Because we've done it before. This is our 5th playthrough of the game. Should we check up on the others? No. Remember the current objective? No. Write in the journal? No. We're going to sleep. We're just going to take a nap. And that's the end. Yes, thank you, Maggie, for the reminder about the muted mic. There is a delay in what you see. So by the time everyone's like, oh, your mic is muted, I've been talking for a while, unfortunately. I wish YouTube didn't have that delay. I don't know what the reason is for it, but it's there nonetheless. All right, look at this. We lowered the settings quite a bit to try to get some better performance. Let me do this. I am going to disable the OBS preview and actually minimize the OBS window in the hopes that maybe, just maybe, we'll get a little bit of performance improvement doing that. We'll close out everything we don't need open, and that includes X. X is not a resource hog, but X can use up resources. Let's just say that. X can use up resources. Let's do this. There we go. Adjusting all these windows on my second monitor. Now this should be what? Renoir's drafts. Interesting. All right. What is interesting is how low the frame rate is right now. Dang, that is a particularly low frame rate. Why? Why you so low? I believe we defeated the boss in Visage, and now we're going to go to the other spot, which is there. There it is. Yikes, yeah. I got to look into how to maximize performance while OBS streaming. It's Cosmo. Cosmo, welcome back, man. It's good to see you. All right, here we go. We're going into Serene. I don't know the French pronunciation, but it doesn't matter. All right, let me bring back up my OBS window so I can kind of see what's going on here. And that's how it's done. All right, I like it. We are live on Twitch and on YouTube. But what really matters, to me, I prefer YouTube, you know? I'd like to get everyone on YouTube. Okay. This is not the Nude Expedition, which is actually a mod for several reasons. One, obviously, I can't stream that. Two, I don't actually play with nude mods. It's not my style. Despite the Gooner in the title, I don't actually want my characters naked. And three, I don't want to see some guy's junk dangling around as I'm playing a game. That's not fun for me at all. I don't want to see a guy's junk, period. I don't care what it's doing, dangling or not. So, we are going to have to skip a cutscene here real quick. And then, it's actually really good music here. This music reminds me of The Witcher. Tell me this does not sound like The Witcher. It's so Witcher-esque. Today's drink of choice is a -196 strawberry pineapple vodka seltzer by Suntory, a Japanese company. I had drinks very much like this when I was in Japan. I think this might be what was called Chuhai there. I have to double check. I can't remember who makes Chuhai, if it's Suntory or not. All right, so because I have a mod installed with its own physics, you'll notice that as we go through here, the physics on my character wig out and don't act appropriately. It's not supposed to do that, guys. Yeah. But anyway, it's to be expected. This is a mod after all. Mods don't always perfectly harmonize with the game itself. Never play, well, no, not never, but don't play Expedition 33 with these kinds of character mods if it's your first time. Please do play through the game the normal way, seeing the actual characters the first time you play. It will be a huge disservice if you goon out on your first playthrough. This is the kind of game you should experience naturally, organically, farm fresh, pasture raised, non-GMO Fair trade straight from the start.
People jumping off
Just
a
play
cliff
it
to
as
see
it
me
is
go.
first. If you want to install minor visual mods for like
Mesmerizing.
the fog and things like that, you can, but don't make your characters 2B on your first playthrough.
This is kind of dancing towards a new me.
Did I try Mega Bonk, which was released recently? You know what? I have not, but I do think I put that... Well, I either put it on my wish list or I downloaded the demo. If there's a demo, I think that's what I downloaded. Is there a demo? If so, it's probably already downloaded. But I sometimes download between 5 to 15 demos all at once just to try them out. And then I delete the ones I'm not interested in, and you know how it works. Oh, I missed her. Oh, no, she's... Oh, I think she got me. I can't tell. Maybe the paint blast got her. All right. Now, the good news is, this is the shooting area of the game. If you try to hit them with a normal attack, it almost always misses. You're intended to shoot them. So these will probably go down in one shot. Let's see. Yep, one shot. And that one took 2. Because our first hit, straight out of the gate, is our most powerful. We have Lumina equipped that make the first hit of any combat encounter do like 100%, 50% more damage, something like that. So this area has a lot of optional stuff in it. You can just make a beeline for where you're supposed to go, or you can grab all of this optional stuff. There are optional little pathways. There's a lot of cool stuff in it. The whole point of this playthrough is I cannot do any regular attacks, no counter attacks, no jump counters, no skills. It's got to be all blasting pew-pew style. We the few do the pew-pew. I'm not going to grab this journal just because it's in front of me and it's a sparkly thing, even though it doesn't matter. I've gotten every single item in this game in my other 4 playthroughs. Well, in my other 3. I didn't go back and get all the records and journals in my 4th playthrough because it's irrelevant now. I've gotten them before and it doesn't affect achievements at this point. I've maxed out achievements on this game. I am now bordering on having played Expedition 33 for 200 hours, which is insane considering that the base story can be completed in about 20 to 25 hours, even if it's your first playthrough. That's assuming you don't do much optional stuff. There's a ton of optional content, and actually you could probably beat the game in maybe 14 hours. I don't know. If you're not counting speedrun, if you're just kind of running through the game quickly but not necessarily speed running it, I think you could do it. You could pretty easily do it under 20. However, this is like Chrono Trigger. If you only blast through the story, you're not seeing all the content. You are missing a ton of content. The game has, I would say, a rough estimate of about as much optional content as mandatory content. You can pretty much double your playtime by doing the optional content. However, big caveat. If you get towards the end game, you can unlock the final boss fight, but you don't have to go to it immediately. It's just like Chrono Trigger. A lot of Chrono Trigger inspiration here. Not to mention the fact you always have a party of 3. But that's common in a lot of games. That's not a specific Chrono Trigger. But once you've unlocked the option for the final battle, there's still a ton of content you can choose to do. And if you do it all before the final battle, you will be very overpowered and find that the final boss is just not very difficult. Did I unlock that ability yet? No, I did not unlock the paint ability on our paint blast to destroy the paint spires. All right, where is this Petanque? We want to fight him. And I kind of want to look up Petanque and see what it means in French. Is it a French word, Petanque? It's got a little diacritic on it that makes me think it's French. That is not the way. It's this way. That's the way forward for the story. And if you're curious as to how to tell what direction is story, like this is the way we came from. Look at these 2 hallways. You see those. Now look at this one. What do you notice? Lights, cisterns, if that's what they're called, or a, what do they call that when it hangs from above and has a fire in it? These are basically lamp or lamp equivalents. Anywhere where you see lamps or the equivalent of lamps, that's the main pathway. So you might see a few like these are decorative, but that up there is like guiding you to the main path. So we're going to not take that quite yet. We're going to go get our Petanque friend here. Hello. we're going to get you. You ready? Oh, gotcha. Oh, no, I missed. It is actually possible to catch him without fully chasing him to the endpoint, but it depends on if he gets, like, stuck on the environment or if he gets blocked by some enemies. I once had him get blocked by some enemies I hadn't killed, and so he started going back and forth, and in the process of doing that, I was able to blast him and start the fight without having pushed him all the way. Get over here, you little shit bag. All right. Oh, I guess we have to go this way, huh? What we need to do is get him all the way back down here. So up there was a diversion. Maggie asks, is there a special cutscene on ending for 100%? No. Not that I'm aware of, because I'm pretty sure I did the 100% the first playthrough. I definitely did it the second and third. All right, we got him. There's no special cutscene I'm aware of. No one else has talked about it, so I'm assuming the answer is no. I will say, you can see more than one ending depending on what you do. Oh, I hit the wrong button for dodge. I keep forgetting what the dodge button is because this is my first playthrough actually bothering to dodge. I've always just parried and jumped. All right, here we go. We have only 2 turns to take this guy down. I love how fast you can shoot. It's just really fun. It's really fun mashing the left mouse button to shoot. All right, this is not looking good for us, guys. This is not looking good. We've only got 2 turns, and we haven't gotten him down that low, but we might be able to break him, and the damage from the burn stacks will help us. But we may not make it. Fortunately, this guy's totally optional, so it's not really important. These guys run away if you don't defeat them in time. Very Final Fantasy-esque. It's like the Cactuar or Cactus, whatever they're called in Final Fantasy. You know those little cactus guys? Or the slimes in Dragon Warrior. Remember the silver slime in Dragon Warrior on the original NES? That thing, you could get massive gold and experience from, but it was so hard to kill him before he ran away. Who remembers the silver slimes in the original Dragon Warrior? Come on. Okay, we broke him. Did we break him? Yeah, he's broke. He's broked. Let's hope he stays stunned and we can just mass damage him here. We might be able to do this. We might be able to do this. It might work. We're getting some bonus damage from the mark. It only lasts for 1 hit unless you reapply it. Oh, okay, we got double mark on him. So that mark needs 2 hits before it goes away if we don't reapply. Oh, we reapplied it on the second hit. Reapplied? Reapplied? Oh, we didn't get it again. That's a good amount of reapplications. Okay. Oh, she's got more. Oh, we got this. We got this. We got this. No problem. We got this. All right. We did it. Petanque sounds like a ball game called Petanque. You know what? I bet you that's what it's based off, because he attacks you with lots of little, like, rock-like or pebble-like balls. He'll actually shoot the balls at you. This guy is so hardcore, he shoots his balls at you. I mean, that's dedication to the fight, you know what I mean? There's no guarantee you'll ever get those balls back. This is a really cool area. It will look a little different than if you play it, because I have a mod installed to get rid of the excess fog. I've mentioned this before, but I just want to let everyone know. You will see certain things you're not supposed to, or it may look a little weird at times, or even slightly plain, because I installed a mod to ditch the excessive fog that I don't like. Most of you probably will not want the fogless look, but it's up to you. It's an option on PC. Love how long you can go on with this. Uh-oh. Oh, he's going to attack. He's on the attaque. Let's make sure he doesn't get a chance. And he didn't. He pulled that spear out for nothing. He pulled his long, slender device out, ready to use it. And Mael said, no, you're not using that on me. That's wrong. It's not going to happen. And it didn't. She stopped it. Although there is actually no Mael in this game. We've replaced her with 2B. You can see that's not Miles' face. It's definitely not her body. It's a total replacement mod. It's not a modification mod. It doesn't put an outfit on Miles' model. It replaces Miles' model with 2B, which is important because apparently, I don't think we can get past that guy without fighting. Apparently, Nexus Mods doesn't know the difference between modding an in-game underage character and replacing an in-game underage character. They have a problem with replacing. You can't get this mod, this version of it, on Nexus Mods. They banned it because the Nexus mods, like the mods of Nexus Mods, don't realize that replacing an underage character with a totally different one from a different game is not an issue. It's just not. But they're idiots. That's what woke will do to you. There's a few things you cannot be while also being woke. You can't be a good person and be woke. That's antithetical. All woke is evil. You can't be a good person and be woke. And then you also can't be logical or reasonable and be woke. Because if you were logical and reasonable, you wouldn't be woke. So that's just how that works. All right, we get to fight this ball of fabric that has these eyeball-like things on it. Why does it exist? What is it for? I don't know. So far, this playthrough is pretty darn easy, but I do have my characters maxed out, which is not normally what most people will have. So I wonder... No, those characters, I don't have to use any hacks to try to touch them. You can actually blast them, and it doesn't initiate combat, so they're just static backdrops. Static in so much as they don't respond as a regular enemy. They are moving, animated, whatnot. Some enemy character models in the background are just that. They're just for the background. And some, even though you can't legit reach them, if you use a hack or a tool, a debug tool to move about in places you're not supposed to, you can actually initiate battles with those enemies you're not supposed to be able to reach. Key area is Flying Waters. The Bourgeon in the distance and Flying Waters cannot be reached through any in-game method, but if you get a hack or do some no-clip movement that you're not supposed to, you can get to them and fight them, which is pretty cool. I mentioned this earlier, but the physics on these modded characters will wig out in these segments. If you look at this 2B's character's bottom, it's just like flapping all over the place and it looks weird, but that's because the physics here are interacting with the separate jiggle physics of the mod. So that's that. This is going to be a much easier run than I thought. We could probably shoot through a New Game Plus run, although I don't know if it gets harder with each subsequent New Game. That is something to look up. Anyone want to look that up? Does the game get harder on subsequent New Game Plus runs, or just the first one? Because there are a lot of games where the game will get harder on New Game Plus, but it only does that once. And then every subsequent New Game Plus is the same difficulty level. I know Dark Souls, I believe, has up to New Game Plus 7 difficulty increases. It continuously increases the difficulty up to, I believe, New Game 7. Correct me if I'm wrong. After that, any further new games no longer scale difficulty. So I feel like there should be something in here, right? Is there something we're supposed to interact with? Because you can get into this room and then open the main door to the rest of the... man, I feel like I got a mustache hair tickling my nose again. I remember there being something in the tub. But is there something else we're supposed to do here? Because we didn't get anything here. There we go. The key indicator that there's a secret is the fact that there was nothing in there. Every single one of these mansion things has something. So if you find one and you can't immediately see what to pick up... Wait, hang on a second. Is it possible to run in that one? I mean, I've gone through that area before. I just never tried to run in it from this way. Yeah, we could probably get in there if we use the hack or the debug mode. Yeah, this is where the mods come in. So Clueless, welcome. So Clueless. So Clueless says, I believe it goes up to New Game 5 to reach max difficulty. Okay, I should probably do that. I'm on New Game, let's see. I played through New Game on my first save game. I played through New Game Plus, and then I played through New Game Plus Plus. So I got a couple more to reach max difficulty. But my characters are already maxed out. All the Pictos are maxed out. All the weapons are maxed out. There's literally, other than changing my setup, there's literally nothing I can do to enhance the characters. So just swap out stuff. The characters are maxed. So, but the game is not that tough. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Let me knock this out real quick. We want to get our notifications when people subscribe and do all that cool stuff. So we should make sure that's set up. Let me launch this and then do a little test run. Yep, notifications work. Awesome. That's what it would look like if somebody subscribed. All right, we got it. Awesome. Let's get back to the game. Blast. 2-shot. 3-shot. And then I don't think it matters whether you hit him in the head or the body. Nope. Certain characters, there is no specific glowing weak point, and there's also no like body versus head damage difference. Whereas with some of the characters, hitting them in the head does more damage than hitting them in the body. Alright, let's go on this. Alright, is he gonna attack? No. He has to wait one turn to use his spear. And he didn't get his turn. Man, this is interesting in that we're not often gonna see them actually take a turn, are we? We're killing a lot of enemies without them having a chance to do anything. Alright, so we came through here. I guess we can run up here and see what's up here real quick. I haven't memorized what everything in the game is yet.
Good stuff.
Protecting death. There are so many Pictos in this game, it's insane. This is not like a story spoiler, so I don't mind showing you. But I'll show you all the Pictos, okay, guys? You ready for this? You see how many are listed here, right? They're alphabetical, okay? So you're seeing this alphabetically. I'm going to do that, what's that wrestling meme with, it's not, is it John Cena? I don't know who it is, but it's like the guy in the chair and he's going like this. That's a lot of stuff. That is a lot of stuff. I think I have all of them memorized so they can be used as Lumina. The way you can tell is if it's grayed out or if it's not full, like these 4 yellow bars will form around the Pictos, and when all 4 form, you have learned it and can use it as Illumina. Each one represents a battle fought. You have to fight 4 battles. If it's completely gray, that means you haven't fought any battles with it. Okay, yeah, I think we've learned every single Pictos there is. Which, that sounds like a lot. It kind of is, but if you're going through the game trying to discover everything and doing everything, it's not really that hard to just keep swapping out the Pictos and then learn them all. Occasionally, the grapple points will be so far in the distance that if you're playing this for the first time, you might have trouble finding them. Is it? No, it's not the Joe Rogan meme. It's the one where it's like the guy looking, and then he's always really happy, and he gets happier and more surprised with each thing. And then at the end, he's like, he's just so excited and happy that he's like melting into his chair. It's a wrestling meme. It's the guy is from wrestling, but I know so little about wrestling, I don't know who it is. I'm not a wrestling fan. I'm just so used to shooting the head for more damage, I kind of automatically do it, even if it doesn't matter. Uh-oh. Well, we didn't take him out on the first round. That's okay. Now, Lune is actually my best. She's my MVP, sports term. She's my most valuable player because when she hits them, she has a special bonus from her weapon to where she can hit one of the other enemies at the same time. So her blast can hit more than one enemy at once. She's the only one that can do that I'm aware of. I haven't found any other way to do it. All right. Man, these guys don't even get a chance. Maybe we should we increase the damage on the enemies? I mean, they're at New Game Plus damage as is. But we'll see. We'll see. We may increase the damage just a bit, so at least we can see what these enemies can do. I'm just blasting them away, and they don't have a chance to do anything. Oh, my L took a little bit of damage, so we'll rest. And then I think there's something around here, some optional stuff. Aha! You can hear the mimes from a distance. They make a very unique noise. All right. The mimes put up a shield, and they have super high defense until you break them. This one has 6 shields on. Those shields don't mean anything. We blast right through them thanks to a special Pictos we learned and equipped. Watch this. See? The shields are completely pointless. All right. I actually absorbed his shields. Notice now that Mael, 2B in this case, but that Mael's character down there has 6 shields on her. Put a special ability on her to absorb shields that I attack. So not only do the shields not help them, because we pierce right through it, I steal the shields from them. Although there is a boss where if you apply shields to try to make the fight easier, he will literally just steal the shields from you and then apply them to himself. So, yeah. That boss is by far, to me, the toughest in the game. I think most people would agree. There is another optional boss that is extremely powerful. I think this is where we came through, right? Yeah. There's another boss that's also extremely powerful that's totally optional, but I'll let you discover that for yourself. There are 2 very tough boss fights that are totally optional and somewhat hidden. And one of them, to me, is obviously the much harder one. We may try him in this playthrough, but I do not have any hopes that we're going to defeat him, because pretty sure we're going to die.
We should take it out.
I'm just saying, it's
definitely be an advantage.
that fight is brutal when I'm using everything at my disposal. I don't think I have any good chance of killing that boss with shots only. So it gives you the option on whether or not to fight this Nevron. It's not a story spoiler, I'll just let you know. If you don't fight this Nevron that appears not to be hostile, this Nevron will help the Axon boss battle at the end of this. So it'll come back to haunt you. So you want to kill it. Kind of like in Demon Souls, in the Tower of Latria, the first boss there, I can't remember her name, the Fool's Idol. There's a dude up there doing something, like casting some sort of spell. You can talk to him. He says he's not going to bother you. He's not doing anything. He doesn't attack you. If you leave him alive, he will resurrect the boss. So you have to kill him. If you don't kill him, I don't think you can defeat the boss. All right. Does it matter what part we shoot? I can't even aim all the way up there to the head. So obviously, if you can't, you can't. All right. 17,000. 17,000. So it doesn't appear which part of this I shoot at. Or wait, hang on. Let me shoot there, 18,000. 18,000. Okay, shooting the hands doesn't work, so we don't worry about that. So it doesn't appear to matter where we shoot, just any portion right here. The reason I was experimenting there is sometimes where you shoot certain enemies can do more damage than other spots. Oh, ran out, but we get another turn. Let's see if we can get out of this one. Start with 3 points, action points, and go from there. Alright, that wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. Could have been much worse. Could have ended at 3. We start out 9 because it's the first round for CL. Alright, we're down to 0. CL's second turn in a row. Thanks to the cheater, Lumina. Allows you to play twice in a row. She didn't get as many shots off as the others, but that's okay. This curse, I believe, is unavoidable. I don't think you can avoid it. Yeah, whether you dodge, parry, jump, it's unavoidable. So curse will automatically kill your character within a certain number of turns. And you can see the number above them. So Mael has 8 turns left to die. It's a total of 9 because you can see that Lune has 9. Usually there's a way to disable it. In this case, I don't see anything to like shoot. There's no special spot to shoot to cancel it that I'm aware of. If there is, I've never discovered it. However, we're gonna kill this thing long before those curses proc and kill us, so it's not a problem. If you've been doing optional content in killing everything in the game, you should kill this boss long before the curse procs. It shouldn't be an issue. I'll tell you, it is kind of fun shooting. Normally, shooting is reserved for some unique circumstances. To hit a weak point, or on enemies that have super high agility to regular attacks. Those are the floating ones. If they float, they're meant to be shot. Sounds kind of silly saying it that way. Yeah, CL just doesn't get the same amount of attacks in as either Mael or Lune, so I should probably look and make sure I didn't screw up her Lumina setup. I like this song. It's kind of an intense song. It's got some melody to it. It's got some cool background sound. Oh, that's it. That boss is weak to fire. Am I planning on reviewing Silent Hill F? I'm not. I've never been a Silent Hill fan. I heard that this is the least Silent Hill of all Silent Hill games. Some people have even said that the combat is sort of a little bit Souls-like. But I'm not really a horror fan like that, and I don't like those games where you spend a lot of time kind of just walking. So I think I would be frustrated by a large portion of the game. I might enjoy the actual combat, but there's a lot of downtime in games like that. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm not judging the game as bad because it has some downtime. You know, if you're going to make a horror game, it can't be full of action all the time. Horror has to have the lows to bring it up to those kind of high points of horror. So you have to have lulls in action when you're going to make a horror-style scary game. You know what I mean? And I typically don't like those lulls. I don't want to just walk through a quiet hallway and wonder when or if something's going to happen. You know what I mean? And then there are often longer story segments, not just cutscenes, but where you are meant to walk around and interact or discover clues or items or something, and very little happens during that in terms of like actual combat or action or anything that I find more interesting, because that's the kind of gamer I am. By the way, if you didn't know, it is possible to break breakable items with the shot, which can include crates. However, it is only the ones set to breakable. That right there doesn't break, that doesn't break, that does. You can also break it with your paint blast. And sometimes they hide items in them, but you can usually see the item shining through. So if you can't see it, it's probably not in it. I can't think of any case where it was so well hidden that you had to break it to see it. Woo! Let's jump down. Oh, roll. There we go. Excellent lighting in this area. Like I said, this area would have a lot more fog, and it would look a lot more ethereal without this mod installed. That's the final... Well, that's the boss of this area, not the final boss of the game, but of this area. All right, we are going to We're going to fight the Glissando. I don't know how much trouble we'll have. Maybe none. But the Glissando will eat one of your characters, and you have to break him to get your character back. And I really hope he doesn't eat Mael or even Lune. CL is my least performant character right now for this. All right, there's shit down there. Let's go down here first, because I think this is an optional area. It's amazing how much of Serene is optional. Like, you can miss a lot of stuff in this area because it's not required. You don't have to go through it. Am I going backwards? Am I going backwards? Am I already confused and going backwards? Nothing like bending over to get under something. All right.
Perfect.
Notice that everything we're picking up has just been converted to Lumina because we already have it. Or Chroma, rather. Chroma. Chroma is the currency in this game. The white ones are pretty much always Chroma. I don't need Chroma at this point. If you look at the upper right corner, I literally have over 106 million Chroma, and there's nothing to buy. I could buy some extra color of Lumina, but other than that, I have everything. So there's no point in buying anything. Meggie says they did the same for Silent Hill 2 remake. Tank controls are switched with dodges and perfect dodges, heavy and light attacks, fixed camera angles replaced with over-the-shoulder third person. Yeah, I also don't like fixed camera angles. I had a discussion with a friend of mine. We do work together. We used to work side by side on a daily basis, and then I ended up moving to a different shift, and we kind of switched up where we work so we don't work together every day like we used to. But when we did, we'd have so many conversations about games, and he's a huge fan of properly done fixed camera angles, and I've never been. I hate fixed camera angles. Especially nowadays. They used to do it back in the day because you couldn't... they literally didn't have enough power on the console or the machine to let you move the camera around. So they had to do fixed camera angles for performance reasons. And I feel like now that we're not worried about the performance as much, although lately we need to be, with how shitty they make the performance on these games. I think we're supposed to get him up there, but let me go up there and check. Is the Patonk spot up there? It is. It's over there. So we got to find a way. Okay, so if you look here, you'll notice that these are breakable. These are totally covered. You blow them open, there's nothing in them. That one's not fully constructed. It's actually slightly open in order to show you that there's something in it. You can see it, see? So from just about any angle, you can still see it. So that's how they do things. They don't actually make it to where they completely hide something. Like I said, if you can't see it already in there before you break it, it's probably not in there. You can usually see it before you break. Yeah, see, it's almost impossible to actually start the fight without chasing him down to his little spot. That's right. That's how we get him in there. Sometimes you have to make him go the other way first so that you can then chase him all around to get him to go the correct way. Whoop. Roll. There he is. He's ready for us. He makes a horrible sound like... He makes a sound like you're kicking a dog. It's kind of disturbing. Can you hear it? It's like the whine of a dog that's being abused. I don't like it. It makes me feel bad for shooting him. In a video game with a paint blast. Not in real life. We are not left-wing wokies here. We don't run around and shoot people randomly in real life because we're mad about some opinion they had. That's a lefty thing. For the most part. For the most part. Oh, Wind of Shoe says, your stream is black, no picture, just a heads up. Really? Let me check this out. I'm over on YouTube as well. So The stream does not show black to me. If anyone else sees a black stream, let me know. I'm seeing it fine on everything here. But welcome, Wind of Chew. It's good to have you. My main platform is YouTube. Although you don't have to come to YouTube. I can see you just fine over there on Twitch. That's what I'm talking about. That batonk was easy. This is an all-shooting run of Expedition 33. That means that we only shoot. We could apply burn through the shooty shoot, but we can't do counterattacks. We can't use abilities. We can't use base attacks. We can't use jump counters. We can't use gradient counters either. Chroma Catalyst. Look at this. There's no use for all this stuff, and I have 157 of these. This is insane how much I've collected. I will take those colored lumina. I can use those, and that's why they don't give you too many. The rest, I have no use for. I've got so much now and nothing to use it on, and there won't be anything to use it on. That won't change. So, once you've kind of maxed out. Wind of Chew, has it changed at all? Try refreshing the page if you're still seeing a black screen, because when I just played it now on my browser on my second monitor, it did show it was looking normal for me. All right. Such a Witcher-esque song. I will say one thing I don't like is that as I move the camera around, the audio is positional when it comes to the background music. Now I hear the woman singing almost totally in my right ear. Now I hear it almost totally in my left ear. But there's a reason for it. That doesn't happen with all the songs. The reason it's happening with this music is because the music you're hearing is... What's that term for it? Not dialectical, that's not it. There's some term for it. Diegetic. I think that's the correct term. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. The music you're hearing here is diegetic. It's not music for you, the player, so much. It's actual music the characters in the game are supposed to be hearing, because that character right there, the boss, is singing. So when I move the camera to where she's off to my left, I hear it more in my left ear. When I move it to my right, I hear it more in my right ear, because the music is actually coming from that thing right there. She's singing in the game world, in the story. The characters actually comment on the music. So, interesting little point there. It's a diegetic moment. Although it kind of feels weird when I'm in some other area and I'm moving the camera around and the music is kind of changing with the camera. Alright, I think we went there. And there might be something over here. Really, we don't need to explore any of this optional stuff. We'll leave it. We'll just stick to the main path here. So, I believe can we skip this glissando? No, I think you have to fight this one. I don't know if there's a way to get around it without activating the fight, but we're going to do it anyway. So, who cares? Blast. Diegetic music, guys. For example, if you're watching a TV show and there's just music playing for you as they're doing something, that's not diegetic. I believe diegetic is when the people in the media, whether it's a TV show, movie, or game, they're also supposed to be hearing the music, just like you are. All right, here we go. All we can do is shoot, so let's shoot. Let's try the head. 17,000... 18,000. Yeah, it doesn't appear to matter. Although, there'll be a weak spot there later to cancel out an effect. This won't be too tough, but Glissando definitely has some good health. Nothing insane, though. Nothing we can't handle. I just hope he doesn't eat Lune or Mael and leave just Ciel, because she does the least amount of damage. It's not like she's terrible. She's not bad. I just don't know if I spec'd her out correctly. Of course, she did pretty okay there, but she tends to have fewer action points and run out sooner. All right. We broke him. We broke him, boys. We broke him. All right, now we're done. And he's back. He didn't stay broken for long, did he? Oh, I'm out. All right, reset. Next turn. Oh, yes, this is so easy. I'm shocked how easy this is, but of course that's because our characters are completely maxed out in every possible way. And then I've equipped just about every single Lumina I could think of that would enhance our shots. Including some that aren't directly free aim related, like doing more damage on a marked target or doing more damage on a stun target. Of course, we're putting that burn effect on, and I don't consider that cheating against the rules because the burn effect applies with the shot. So I'm only shooting. I didn't do anything else, you know? The Yorha Expedition. That's what this mod is called, by the way, if you guys want to look it up. Yorha Expedition. If you want the mod in its entirety, you'll have to go to Ayaka Mods website, AYAKA, Ayaka Mods, because the one on Nexus Mods will not replace Mael, because the idiots over at Nexus Mods don't realize that when you completely replace a character, you're not changing the look of the character, like you're not changing the character's clothes. This doesn't put Mael in a 2B outfit. It replaces Mael's model with 2B's model. But because she's canonically 16 in the game, some idiots flip out over that and think there's something wrong with it. Like, replacing a fictional character who's canonically 16, replacing her with another fictional android character that looks completely different. I don't know how anybody could see that as a problem or wrong or bad. I just don't get it. I think they're just idiots. I don't think they can use rational thought. So let's do that. Rest. Have I ever worked with game engines or mod kits? Not directly. I have tried to modify a few mods, so I've tried to mod the mods, but I'm not very good at it. The most I've ever done, and it's been a long time ago, is I've done programming in... I did a little bit of programming in assembly language. Did not enjoy that. I programmed in BASIC, C, C++, a little bit of Python. Python was the most recent one I did.
Okay, right.
And then, what other language? I think that's it. But back when I was actually learning programming and thinking that's what I was going to do, I made a little game that was kind of like Pac-Man, but it ran in DOS. That should give you an idea of both how old I am and how long ago that was. It was a DOS game. And no, it wasn't meant to be retro. DOS was currently something you used to play games at the time that I made it. Interestingly enough, you can't bring up the gunshot in that, but that's because we had actually initiated the cutscene. When you first initiate some of the cutscenes, you start by walking. It forces you to walk, but believe it or not, you don't have to walk towards the thing. You could turn around and start walking away, but regardless of where you walk, the cutscene will start. Wind of Chew, you still with us over there on Twitch? Alright, I guess we'll skip this. I don't want to blow any secrets, or not secrets so much as I don't want you guys to see anything that could be a spoiler if not necessary. Now, if we shoot her up there, I don't think that will do anything. I think we have to shoot this thing only. And notice the reticle. Notice the reticle's grayed out. It's gray and white. Bring it down here, and the reticle turns to red. See that? The center is still white, but it's red and shifts angle. You have your straight plus sign, then it goes to a red X. That's an indicator of where you could shoot. So if you shoot anything with the white plus kind of sign, it means you're not going to get anything out of it. Bill Bones, welcome! Yes, I do love this mod, and I also love the cheeky mods. There we go. So, are we going to do more damage shooting the head? 25,000? No, thank goodness. I hate having to shoot the head, Because as you shoot, it moves the cursor a bit, and you have to keep bringing it back to aim at the head. Center mass shots. Some of you guys know what I'm talking about. Who knows what center mass means in this context? Anyone have any training with guns and firearms? If so, you should know the term center mass. That's how we're trained. Shoot center mass. And for good reason. Look at me shooting without looking. They definitely didn't train me to shoot without looking. So, Bill Bones, how you doing, man? You enjoying this Monday evening? At least it's Monday evening where I'm at. I don't know where you specifically are. So we have to skip our turn once we run out of action points because we're not using any regular attacks or abilities. We're also not doing counterattacks. We're only using free aim. Oh, I screwed that up. I totally screwed that up. Man, I'm really off my game. I'm making myself look terrible. It's also messing with me that I'm dodging. I'm so not used to dodging. All right, we lost Lune. Can I shoot Lune? It won't even let you shoot her. Oh, I'm out of action points. That's why. Let's go back and get action points. All right, here we go. Nope, I didn't think so. There was no red reticle anyway. So Lune is charmed. She may end up actually attacking us now. That's pretty much what they do when they're charmed. And, yep. Lune! We're not supposed to use regular attacks. All right. And Lune's back. After killing CL, but CL came back because she has an ability to instantly come back if she dies. Yeah, that's right, Bill Bones. Less collateral damage. You shoot center mass, you're more likely to get a hit. It's also typically very effective. You don't want to go for headshots. If there's an invader in your home, like if you're at home and you live in a place that gives you the basic common human right to defend yourself, which some places don't, that's also the result of the wokies out there who love thugs and criminals. The left loves criminals. They love criminals. They hate hardworking, law-abiding citizens like you and me. They hate us, but they love criminals. They love thugs. So if you're able to defend yourself legally in your own home, which should be a universal human right that the United Nations even should be pushing at, but they don't because they're the United Bitches. But anyway, shoot center mass, this area, basically the torso, the chest. You don't want to shoot the arms. You don't want to shoot the legs. You don't want to shoot the head. That's easier to miss. Those things move around. And also, this idea of people shooting a gun out of someone's hand, it's possible, but it's really, really fucking stupid to try it. You would be an absolute fool if you're trying to save your own life and defend yourself if you aimed for their gun hand. That would be an idiotic move. You want to shoot the larger portion that's going to stop the threat. And if you shoot the chest area, you have the ability to hit not only the lungs and heart and all that, but also the fact that, well, not only the lungs, but possibly the heart. And if you shoot the lungs or the heart, that's going to stop them. No one's going to keep pushing forward with holes in their lungs like that. Not for long, at least. All right. I'm shocked how quickly we were able to blow through this game. We're not done yet. We're getting towards stuff that's just going to reveal spoilerish stuff no matter what, even if I skip the cutscenes. But it's unavoidable. I skip all the cutscenes. That helps for those of you that don't want unnecessary spoilers. But there's no way to avoid you realizing things about this game as we approach the monolith. Interestingly enough, after a cutscene near the monolith in the water, it resets you to the closest land area, and then you have to go back again, which is kind of weird, but whatever, it's not that big a deal. All right, the barrier's down. We can now go to the monolith, which is a pretty incredible experience because It's what you've been kind of building up to this whole time playing the game. So it's a very intense moment. It feels like something really meaningful and impactful. But you have to actually play the game up to this point and pay attention to the story. Let me make sure, since they reset. Okay. Sometimes they reset who the character is that you see for some strange reason. I don't know why they keep doing that. I guess it's whenever we go to camp, you default to Verso. And then when you leave the camp, it keeps you on the default of Verso. You can switch through the characters whenever you want and control whoever you want in the game levels and overworld, even if they're not in your party. Like, I could run around as Minoko, even though he's not directly in my party right now. Although I can switch the party out on the fly, just not during combat. You can switch the party out whenever you're not in combat. You just go in here, and I'm like, you know what? Goodbye, CL. I'm bringing in Verso. We could. Should we do it? Yeah, let's use Verso for a moment, just for fun. He should be also set up to shoot well. I set up all the characters for shooting in case my main party died and I could bring in the reserves. Though this upcoming battle here with the Paintress here is really not... It's not going to matter how you set up your character at all. Nothing matters. It doesn't matter how powerful you are. It's irrelevant. You'll see why. All right, hopefully we can get this encounter to finish without doing a regular attack. But if we need to do a regular attack, we will. It's not a big deal. Bill Bones asks, do I think this will win Game of the Year? I think it definitely should. But I think it will depend on whether bitch boy Jeff Keighley is still sucking off Kojima and gives it to Death Stranding 2. Whoops. Okay, so I'm not sure we can make a connection with shots. Yeah, it does not look like there's any portion of this encounter that will allow us to free aim. Let's try skipping turns, even though it doesn't really matter if I do a regular attack here. This is a scripted battle, but let's try just skipping turns and see what happens.
Cut him down.
I'm curious what will happen. Yeah, I definitely think this should win Game of the Year. As for people talking about Silksong being Game of the Year, I'm sorry, what the fuck? Silksong is okay. It's a perfectly good game. It's very similar to Hollow Knight. It blows my mind how insane people get over Hollow Knight and Silksong. They're good games. There's nothing wrong with them. They're solid games. They're just not that amazing. It's a Metroidvania with a unique art style. It lacks a lot of the stuff in other Metroidvanias. I'd rather play so many other Metroidvanias than those two games. It's not that they're bad. They're not. And I'm glad the developers had the success that he has. It's great. But Game of the Year for Silksong? Give me a fucking break. Not even close. I wouldn't even have that in the list of possible candidates to be a candidate. It's just a good game, but doesn't even approach anywhere near Game of the Year. So hopefully that obsession that people have with it and all of that will kind of fade, and that won't push out other games that actually deserve being a Game of the Year candidate. All right. So you can actually complete that by just skipping. That's interesting. You don't actually have to connect with an attack. It will complete the boss fight even if you just skip all your turns. Very interesting. I thought they might have put a flag in the game's code to require you to at least try to hit her.
Why did it help us inside?
I also can't stop the characters from talking while roaming the level. I would if I could, so you didn't hear any possible spoilers, but it is what it is.
She's up there.
Although, if you're watching this, you probably don't care too much about spoilers. But you should definitely play this game.
The real paintress.
From start to finish. Without
Her heart is above us
2B.
somewhere.
Don't put 2B in the game for your first playthrough. Don't do that, okay? Don't have 2B giant butt cheeks hanging out there for your first playthrough. It will not it will not improve your experience. It will degrade it. It just won't hit correctly. Also, the fact that during cutscenes, the mouth on these characters won't move because they didn't code in lip syncing, and that will also look terrible during cutscenes. Hades 2 also, it's been a good year for games. So Hades 2, gameplay-wise, I'm sure is fine. I was just very put off by all the woke stuff that the developer decided to put in to appeal to shitbag websites like Kotaku and Polygon and all of those woke websites, you know. So what is going to happen now is you'll basically go through variations of all of the main areas of the game, all the main story-based areas of the game. However, they don't recycle anything. These are all new areas constructed for this just to look similar to previous areas you've been. They don't actually recycle any of the areas, which I think is awesome because they could have easily just tried to recycle them all, but they didn't. I missed. I don't know how I missed the weak spot. Oh, I ran out. Let's start over here. Oh yeah, we took all three of them down with just my L. Nice. We'll grab that even though it's pointless at this. Oh, well, it's a color lumina. We can actually use that to increase our total lumina per character and equip more lumina. However, I don't know why the frame rate is so low. Usually it's always over 60. I wonder what's going on. I honestly don't know. Let me do this. Let me turn off the preview on OBS and see if that doesn't help a little bit.
What was that?
I don't know.
Fire.
Okay, so this is where the flag is. Obviously, it's pulling you in this direction. So we can hit that flag, but you'll notice there's a pathway over here. Also, that mini-map you see in the upper right corner, that is not in the game. That's a mod, and it's actually very well done. You would almost think it was part of the game, except it's not. It doesn't quite fully fit the aesthetic of the game. I think that's an optional chromatic enemy right there. If you see chromatic in front of an enemy's name, it's usually optional, not always. And it's an extremely powerful version. Oh, it's not. It doesn't look like it. It's a very powerful version of the base enemy. The chromatics are always much more powerful. Often presented as kind of mini bosses. Or really tough bosses. But usually optional. Some of them are hidden. Some of them are in optional secret areas. But this one is not chromatic. I thought he might have been, but he's not. I guess it doesn't have a gender. Did I just assume that thing's gender? Also, the thing I like is that this game, for the most part, has enemy designs that are nothing like other games. Despite being an RPG, you're never going to fight a rat. You're never going to fight a skeleton. You're never going to fight a bat. You're never going to fight anything that looks like a regular goblin. Everything is pretty unique looking. There are a few enemies that look like big guys in armor, and that's okay. I don't have a problem with that. That's not bad. But so many of the enemies in this game are very unique and don't really look like anything you've seen in other games. Very different. I like it. How did I miss that weak spot? I know I shot it. Sometimes I think it gets weird about hit detection on the weak point. Is he dead? Okay. Remember, center mass, center mass. Double tap. We're going to double tap now. Okay, there we go. We took him down with the double tapping. It's part of the training, guys. Hit center mass, double tap. As they say in the training that I go through, if it's worth shooting once, it's worth shooting twice. So if you're trying to take down someone that's threatening your life, someone that broke into your home, and you live in a place where you have the right to defend yourself, which, like I said, everyone should have everywhere in the world. If that intruder is worth shooting once, that intruder is worth shooting twice. Double tap. Just to help make sure the threat to your safety and your life is over. But only in justifiable self-defense. Never do it out of malice and hatred. You don't want to be one of the woke lefties. That's what they do. We saw a prime example recently, which we won't talk about. Wow, man, the frame rate. It's so terrible as of right now. I don't know what's going on. It's normally not this bad, but it could. Is it related to the fog mod revealing more? I don't think so, because the fog mod wouldn't make the game render anything it wasn't already going to render. All right, he's down. Next up, this guy. Really, I should have Lune go first, because she's the one that can hit multiple targets at the same time. That would make it go faster. Boom. You know, as much as this isn't that difficult and whatnot, I gotta say it's still fun. Shooting in this game is fun. It just is. All right, this one is chromatic, maybe? Chromatic, yes, no, maybe? Interesting. The EVK is not chromatic. See those shields? They're pointless. Doesn't matter. I shoot right through them. Woo! We hit frame rate in the 30s. Normally, I'm getting about 70 to 110. But this area is pretty intense. This area would drop my frame rate lower, but typically not below 60. While I'm streaming, you know, OBS, the streaming software, does use system resources, so you can't entirely judge the game while streaming because you got some other stuff going on your PC. I could hook up a second PC, stream from the second PC, play on this PC, and then hook it up to where the second PC is capturing the input. That's a hassle, especially if you're looking at using DisplayPort and also trying to get adaptive sync working. It's kind of a nightmare, but some people use a 2-PC setup. The game plays on one PC, and then the second PC captures the gameplay and streams it, therefore avoiding the problem of your frame rate dipping while streaming. Oh, he was right up in my face, and I shot him in the video game with paint power. That one doesn't have a weak point. I believe that's a Claire. One of those is called Claire, the other is called Obscure, and the one that's like a half and half down the middle is called the Claire Obscure. What's the significance? Well, I don't know. Makes you wonder. We're not here to blow any story secrets. As you can see, these enemies are a little tougher than your average enemy. There's some of the tougher enemies in the game, but not the most tough by any means. But they're up there. Okay. Are we going to do this with Lune? Lune finishes. Oh, no. We did not get any good procs on the return AP. Our first chance, our first opportunity to use Verso in this entire playthrough. He's got a cool little animation for it. He flings it off his sword. Look how fast he moves. Woo! Probably break his neck moving that fast. Wow, this guy is so tough. He cycled us through all of our characters. Although we did kill 2 others, so, you know, it wasn't solo. Meggie says, self-defense with firearm or deadly object here is illegal. Also, you may get penalized if you run away and don't answer aggressor's demand calmly. That does not surprise me. I can tell you, some places, they give all the power to the thugs and criminals because they love thugs and criminals. Which direction was I going? I'm already confused as to where I was going. There's a lot of optional stuff in this area, And it's kind of surprising considering that it's an in-game area that you have to do, so you'd think they would make it a little bit more straightforward. I like these enemies because they're very unique. Their design comes into play in how they fight you. That's the Lancelier. Whoops, I missed because he went down low. He got down low. Doing dance moves over here. Alright. I'm powered up with Greater Powerful. Oh yeah, look at that. Almost 500,000 with one shot, but we hit the weak point. Told you, weak points do a shit ton of damage. The weak point did almost 500,000 when we hit it. And regular hits are doing less than 30,000. So that's how powerful it is to hit the weak point. But once you've blown the weak point away, it's gone. You can't hit it again. Now we got to stack up lots of damage over lots of shots. Most of these enemies don't even have a chance to try to hit me. Shocked how easy this is. I don't think you could really... I don't know how you would pull this off if you were doing just new game. Because you wouldn't have any Lumina to equip or Pictos to equip to basically restore your shots, give you AP. You would essentially, I guess, have 1 AP every turn given to you. I think the game gives you 1 AP per turn or something like that. And you build AP through normal attacks. But in a free aim only run, you can't do normal attacks. So you basically wouldn't be able to build up enough AP to get off enough shots. It would just take forever. It would take so many turns. Okay, I think we've done most of what's right there. Let's go back. Because I think this whole area here is optional, technically. Why you kill my frame rate, game? Game, why you killing my frame rate? What's going on? It's not normally even this low. Maybe this is just such an intense area, and I've never streamed this area before. What if we set it to 120? We could lock it to 60 and see if that helps for just this area. Maybe? I don't know. We're out of the big wide open area, so we'll see.
Again.
Let's just lock it to 120. We really don't need to go beyond 120. I do have a 240 hertz monitor though,
Teaching
so
our children to paint, huh?
So with all the praise for this game, I do want to say it's still on Unreal Engine 5. By the way, we're now going from Spring Meadows into a different variation of Flying Waters. And as I've stated before, this is not a copy of any portion of an area you've already been through. This is a newly made area to look similar to the old area. I guess we'll talk to him. We'll get the color of Lumina he sells. And I'm pretty sure there's nothing else we could need. Well, recoat, but we've got so many of those, there's no way we'd use them all. This would be a fun area to explore with out-of-bound hacks. Believe it or not, there are some areas that are somewhat fleshed out that you can't reach. There's an area in Dark Shores that is blocked off, but if you use a hack or mod to get through it or jump over it, you can... Yeah, see... Okay, we'll just fight him. You can see an entire area that you can run through. It has grappling points. It has climbing points. So it was clearly intended to be an area for you to explore, but there's no way to get to it right now. I don't think it's going to be DLC. I think it was intended to be the original first area of the game, and they changed it. And then he's got a weak point right... It's like if you're actually aiming directly at the weak point, it doesn't register. You have to move in a little more. So I feel like sometimes the aim isn't perfect. All right, I think it's gone now. Okay, weak point gone. Done. I love it. See, I got disoriented based on the direction. It kind of like faced my character away from the direction of the enemy I was fighting. And it is easy at times to get turned around in this game. It's not that it's maze-like, it just has so many different areas. But it is an Unreal Engine 5 game, as I was saying before that battle. It's an Unreal Engine 5 game. And like just about every freaking Unreal Engine 5 game, it's not up to snuff with performance. It's not. I've heard a lot of people say, well, some Unreal Engine games are fine. Look at Expedition 33. They did a much better job than most of the developers with this game. It still does not perform well. It's still not very well optimized. I should be able to run this in DLAA, which is essentially no upscaling. There's a question about that. I should be able to run this at full 1440p. I'm not running this at 1440p. I can't even maintain 60 frames a second, even with some of the settings turned down and all the post-processing bullshit turned off, because real gamers don't use those. It's insane that you basically have to use upscaling. And yet, because this game is so good in terms of the story and the visuals and the gameplay, people just ignore the fact that it's another unoptimized Unreal Engine 5 game. As much as I love this game, you guys know that, I'm not going to pretend it doesn't have any problem. Its biggest problem is this fucking Unreal Engine 5 garbage. With what's his face out there from Epic being like, well, actually, it's not the problem with the engine we made. It's every single developer who's developing games with it is doing it wrong. Sure, buddy. We've never had a game engine like this before that lots of different developers had access to and were using, and none of them could do it right. None of them can do it right. They all screw it up. They're all screwing up, guys. Every single developer who's using Unreal Engine 5 is messing up. They're just not using it right. Does that sound like a reasonable possibility? Or could it be that the reason that every single one of these Unreal Engine 5 games struggles, if it has graphical fidelity high enough? I mean, we're not talking about 2D games here, guys. A pixel art game made in Unreal Engine 5. All of these games with high quality graphics run like ass on Unreal Engine 5, and we're to believe it's the developers are all doing it wrong? Every single one of them, all these different studios? Or could it maybe be that it's the engine? I'm going to go with it's the engine. I don't think every developer is screwing up. I think it's the engine. All right, we're going to fight Mr. Biggs here. He's massive. He's a bourgeon. We'll take him down. Let's see if he has a chance to eat one of us. But don't worry, even if eaten, we have a chance to come back. All right. They never have weak points. I've never seen them with weak points. Anyway. He's a chromatic bourgeon. And why not? Why not be chromatic? If you could be chromatic, wouldn't you be chromatic? If you could be an enemy in a game, would you rather be a regular old enemy or like a super elite version of the regular enemy? You want to be the elite version. Everyone does. You don't want to be normal and regular and boring. I love how they reel from being shot, and they're trying to reel like 60 times a second as I'm just blasting them away. They get kind of like jittery with the animation. But you're not really intended to do it this way, you just can. Oh man, Verso is just wigging out, man. Looks like he's having the world's fastest seizure. He's just like a blur, man. We got him at halfway. I think he's... Oh yeah, he's gonna have a turn. After this, it's his turn, so he'll take a turn here. He might eat one of us. All right. Who's he gonna... Oh wait, he was stunned, so he doesn't get a turn. He was stunned during his only turn. Nah, we're gonna kill him. It's going to be Lune, Mael, Verso, Lune, Mael, Verso. He has no chance. You know, wouldn't it be nice to actually see what this guy does? Let's do that. We're going to have to skip so many turns, but you guys at least have to see something this guy can do. Poor guy never got a chance to do anything. We'll give him a chance. We'll give him a chance to eat one of us. I think that's going to be his move. I think he'll eat one of us. Skipping Lune. Skipping Lune. Skipping Mael. Skipping Mael. Skipping Verso. Skipping Verso. All right. Oh, and he died from the burn stack. We were doing everything we could to give him a chance, and he still died from the burn stack. He still died from the burn stack. Oh, well, there's nothing we could have done about that. I wasn't even thinking. That's fine. We stacked so much burn that there was no chance he could survive it. Absolutely beautiful world they've crafted. Very unique. Has a very ethereal, otherworldly feel to it. And there are story-based reasons for that we won't go too deep into. This game really is worth playing start to finish at least once. Even if you do not like these JRPG style games, because it's in the genre of a JRPG, even if you don't like turn-based combat, I think you'd be surprised. I haven't played a turn-based JRPG style game like this in a long time. At least I haven't played one and enjoyed it. I've tried some demos and things. This one, I absolutely love it. It's different in some ways, similar in others. It does so much right. Like, if you watch the combat, they make it fun to see it happen. It's not this static, boring thing where you just stand there and issue commands. Like, the camera's moving in and out and all that. Whoa, what are we doing there? I almost went back to normal combat. I almost screwed this up. You don't get to see the camera move around so much with the free aim shots. So if you want to see what this game actually looks like, you have to use regular abilities and whatnot. And the camera just zooms in and out, sometimes slows down. Really cool. Okay, that guy's going to take too long, so we'll focus on this other dude first to get rid of him. He's gone. Now for the whatever this guy's called. It doesn't even tell us. Okay. Perfect Chroma Catalyst. You can use that to upgrade a weapon to 33, which is the maximum level, which is pretty cool considering it's, you know, Expedition 33. So maximum weapon level is 33. Not too many games would pick 33 as a weapon level. You know what I mean, guys? A max weapon level. All right. None of us have taken any damage. We can't level up, so we might as well just... No point in resting. We'll just keep on rolling. All right. So the mini map allows us to see that just a quick little diversion right there. Get this item. I think I can turn the mini map off with M. Yes, I think you can choose whether or not you want to see certain things on the mini map. Like if you don't want to see items, secrets listed, you don't have to see it. But the mini map is just a mod, so if you don't, I would not install the minimap on my first playthrough. I would not do that. I don't think that would be a good thing to do. Wait a minute. Did I just go backwards? Yes, I did. We're not supposed to be in flying waters. We're supposed to be in whatever this the ancient sanctuary, I think it's called. Trying to remember what everything's called here. You guys have gotten quiet in the chat. I think Winds of Shu has gone from Twitch for some reason. He stated that my stream was just a black screen to him, but it looked fine to me. I was able to bring it up. All right, where do we go from here? Come on now. Where's the path forward? Am I already lost? Can we climb this thing? No. Can we climb that thing? I haven't been through here in a while. Surely this isn't in... Oh, it's just this way. Okay. I was being dumb. I did that on purpose, guys. I was being can I say that live on stream? I was being retarded on purpose, okay? If I can't say that on stream, pretend I didn't say it. Okay. Let's blow his arm off. Stop moving so fast, dude. Seriously. You're making it harder to shoot your arm off. Well, he's gonna be dead before that. Just forget it. Oh, he's gonna crash into us. We have to dodge to avoid counterattacks because we're just doing free aim shots only. Hello? Oh, I'm in free aim mode. I was clicking to get in free aim mode. Didn't realize I was already in it. Oh, I got him. I got the weak point. Let's keep on rolling. We're gonna get through this. We might. We could possibly finish this tonight. I could possibly finish a full free aim only playthrough of the game in 2 streams. Last night's stream was like 3.5 hours long though. Almost 3 hours, 45 minutes long. I can get lost in this game just playing it endlessly. Even though I've done everything multiple times. It's kind of like how some people have played through Chrono Trigger countless times. That's me with this game. I'm trying to break those little doodads. There we go. Broken on both. All right. Even though we didn't need to break them, it was just for fun. Nice try, but you ain't crashing into us, punk. I ran out, but here we are on turn 2. And the fact that you can parry, dodge, and jump and whatnot during combat makes a massive difference. I know everyone's gushing over the fact, oh, you can parry in the game. Oh no, it's more Dark Souls style parry slop. I'm so tired of games that are all about... I get it, but when you're playing a turn-based game, is it fun to just sit there and take hits like a bitch and not be able to do anything about it? The answer is no. It's not fun. Would it be fun if you could parry it, or block it, or dodge it, or jump over it? Yes, that would be fun. So it just makes it better. Alright, let's see if we can blow his arm off. You have to hit him to reveal the weak point, and then hit the weak point. If you don't hit him, the shield blocks you from being able to hit the weak point. Very interesting mechanic. So you have to hit him once to get him to reel back, and then you have to aim in time to hit the weak point before he gets back into position. Pretty cool that they put that much thought into it. This game could have easily been made without the free aim mode. The free aim mode just adds a whole new element. And he's dead. The burn procced. I could have just turned... I could have skipped all the things that put burn on him, but actually I might... Does... Let's switch it back out and we'll have the all-female expedition. I think... Does Lune's apply burn? Frame shots deal damage to an additional random target. No, it doesn't. Does Mael's apply burn? Nope. Actually, I don't think Mael has a specific free aim shot weapon. Does she? I'm using Barrier Breaker because that can... I don't know. Do I want to use Barrier Breaker? Let's see if she has anything that affects free aim shots. She should have one weapon, but I'm not sure it's exactly what we want. Medallion right there, that's the weapon you'll probably want to take to in-game and beyond. That's considered kind of her best weapon if you want to maximize damage on her build. Although if you build her slightly differently than most people would in-game, you may pick a different weapon. Free aim shots break 2 shields. So that's the only thing that does, is free aim shots break 2 shields. Yeah, that's not terribly special. I'm looking for stuff that affects free aim. Normally I would ignore it because free aim has never been a big part of how I played the game. But it looks like none of these are particularly that great for free aim. But if you look at Monoko, his has free aim shots spin the bestial wheel to a random value, and that affects what abilities are enhanced at the time, depending on what the wheel is on. Free aim shots deal 100% more damage with all masks except Almighty. He may be the best one to use, actually. 100% critical chance while on Almighty mask. So, if you're in any state of the wheel other than Almighty, you're going to do twice as much damage. I wonder, as much as I don't really want to, if we should just swap out CL for Minoko, and he could do some massive damage potentially. We'll see. It's no longer all female, but I guess that's okay. It doesn't have to be. Does it? Whoops.
Well, that will help.
We really just want to push through, but sometimes I can't resist just exploring everything. It's such a well-crafted world that makes you want to explore everything. Look at these 3 douche nozzles. All right. We'll see if Minoko even gets a chance to shine here before we blow through everything without him. You know what? Forget it. We'll just kill him. I don't need to break those things on him. It doesn't matter. He dies too quickly anyway. Then we'll get this guy. Possibly blow off his arm. Though I missed some of those shots because trying to get that arm right there. His shoulder weakens. Well, break off already. Oh, I'm out. All right, here we go. Oh, yeah, there we go. And now for the... Is that the Claire? That's the Claire, I believe. One of them's Claire, one of them's Obscure, and then one of them's Claire Obscure. The name of the enemy. All right, Lune. Lune's carrying us here. Okay, let's go straight to Minoko and see what he can do. Well, actually, his damage was pretty comparable to the other two, actually. It didn't seem to be that much more. I thought it would have been more, given that he's supposed to do 100% more damage than his base free aim damage. But maybe his base free aim damage was low. So... Don't even need to rest. We've taken no damage. We're almost never getting hit by anything. Everything's dying before it has a turn. That's also because all of my characters have 99 agility. Agility is so important in this game. I can't emphasize it enough. When I started my 4th playthrough with a brand new game, not a new game plus, just a second save file, I just stacked agility on every character. I didn't care what weapon they had equipped. It didn't matter. I just stacked agility. And I kept stacking agility until it hit 99. I ignored every other stat. Only agility. All I upgraded was agility. Every time. Makes it easy to level. You don't have to think about anything. Ah, let's run away from the extra busty cultists. And grab Chroma. Wow. Very exciting. Ah, I missed him. Yes, there is actually a mod to make the cultists bustier. It's kind of stupid. I mean, who cares? But whatever. All right, they're not super weak in terms of their health pool. They've got some decent health, but not enough. Goodbye. All right, we got some good hits out of her. She got some procs in there. Whoa! Whoa, he did 244,803. I wonder what was that? What procced on him? Oh, I think we broke. We broke her. Okay, it was a break. That changes things. So we already got that, but did we go back here? There's some enemies back here. What else is back here? It's a mystery. I'm acting like I don't. I kind of don't know because I forgot, but I have been back here several times before. It's nothing brand new to me, obviously. Shields don't matter. We eat right through them. Like they're not even there. Whoa, I wasted a bunch of shots. He fell down and I was still shooting. You do have to be aware that the enemies move around when you shoot them. So sometimes, if you're not careful, you can start missing. We get a proc of, like, I think Greater Powerless. I think it's Greater Powerless when we break an enemy. That's why you see that flash of red over my character sometimes. I've also added extra break power to the shots. Oh yeah, look at that damage he's doing now. Almost 43,000 per hit. Now Lune can hit 2 enemies at once with her weapon. But if Monoko can do that much damage, he might be the ultimate in terms of free aim build. I mean, Verso's pretty good too, but with 100% more damage on his weapon for free aim shots, that might be hard to beat. I don't know. I haven't put them all to the test. I wondered. Any of you guys know? Some of this stuff you can look up, but believe it or not, some questions I have about Expedition 33, I have put into Google, and nobody's really answered them yet. So it's interesting how many very unique, specific questions you could have, very niche questions, have not been posted anywhere. Meggie says, did you ever review or play Baldur's Gate 3? I didn't. I had some issues with it. Not that I think it's a terrible or bad game. It just has a lot of... It's not a woke game per se. It just has woke stuff in it and some ridiculous stuff. And I kind of got sucked into all that. I may give it a shot at some point. I think the development team isn't trying to be necessarily too woke. Bear sex. Need I say more? I know that was kind of overplayed and exaggerated, but whatever. I've been waiting for it to go on super sale. I know it's the kind of game that takes a long time to play through, and that's always kind of discouraging, knowing how long a game is going to take. A substantial time invested. Shoehorn stuff, yeah, I feel like they put some of the stuff in there because they know if they don't, they'll get blasted by the lamestream games media. The radical left-wing activists who masquerade as game journalists. They're not only not journalists, but they're usually not even gamers. Like, many of them don't even like video games, but they're here pretending to be a games journalist. Why? Because they couldn't make it in any real journalism field. Like, I can't remember the name, but I think there was this woman who's a games journalist at one of the lamestream outlets like Craptaku and Polygon, and you know, all the shit. Pretty much all the mainstream ones are shit. They're all shit. They've all been co-opted by radical left-wing lunatics. But this person talked about, or I think it was a woman, how she wanted to go into foreign affairs political journalism, but she couldn't make it. She couldn't get a job, and she needed money. So you know what she did? She settled for game journalism. Do we think she actually really cared about video games all that much? No. She never did. She's only in games journalism to try to get a journalism job to make money. If she ever gets offered something better in a non-game related field, her ass is out immediately because she doesn't give a shit about games. I think you'd be surprised how many games journalists are only in games journalism because they couldn't get a job in any other field of journalism. So they settled for games journalism. So it just goes to show, like, they really don't care about this field. They don't care about games. They're not gamers, many of them. They're only here because it's the only thing they could get in the journalism field. Oh yeah, this guy's doing the damage. Monoko's the damage dealer. Is there a mod to swap Monoko's model for 2B? There isn't, that I'm aware of. Look at this douche nozzle. He is not going to stop chasing us. Okay, whatever, dude. I'll fight you. It's your funeral, man.
The dance begins.
Weak spot right there in the face, kind of where the face is through the helmet. This is turning out to be so easy. And I thought this was going to be a hard run. You know, it being new game and all. But actually, It would be so much harder to do this. This is New Game Plus is what I meant to say. It would be so much harder to do this on New Game because you would not have all of these learned Luminas to give you bonuses. I actually favorited all the ones that I thought would benefit me. Look at all this stuff that I have equipped that gives me all these bonuses, including returning AP. There's one, I think it's called Energizing Shots. Yeah, 20% chance to gain 1 AP on a free aim shot. If you free aim, you typically use 1 AP unless you apply some special Lumina. I think there's one that might make it 2 to do additional damage. So if you use 1 AP to get 1 shot off, and then it procs that 20% chance to give you 1 AP back, then it's like you never spent the AP. So if that keeps procking by chance, you can keep shooting. And there's other things that also give me AP back, depending on the circumstances. Let's go grab this item just because it's a shiny. We don't need any of the shinies, but you see a shiny and you want a shiny. You know how it works, guys. You guys are real gamers. I don't think there are any fake gamers that visit my stream. Anyway, that has some meaning. We won't talk about it. Not in this stream, at least. No need for unnecessary spoilers. Very good song that plays in that area, though. It's a very kind of sad, melancholic song.
His little grin.
The manor music that plays is also interesting. It really does set an interesting mood, and I think it's appropriate. Very unique song, too. You cannot open any door from the main hallways of the manor. You have to come out those doors to open them. And if anyone didn't know, I showed you guys last time, but a minor little kind of Easter egg here. I just gotta... Oh, wait, it's down here. A minor Easter egg. It's not a spoiler. It's an Easter egg placed in the game. Is... Oops, sorry, it's up here. It's in this portion of the hallway. Is this painting up here. You see this painting? Nothing special about it. There's a lot of paintings, you know. But there is something special about it. Whoop! You can jump through it. And inside is a room with an item. And lots of paintings of the director's dog. The director's dog is named Minoko. So he kind of put his dog in the game in more ways than one. And apparently, depending on if you count the dog or not, there may not actually be 33 people working at the studio. There's some question as to exactly how many people are working there. Some have said it's 33 people. I think if you say it's 33, you're counting the dog as an employee at the game studio. Which, if you count the dog as an employee because he is shown to be there in pictures and videos, he's actually at the studio with the other employees, then yes, I guess it is 33. But you have to count the dog as an employee. My question is, what work did the dog do? Maggie asks, is the dev French? Yes, they are. The director, Guillaume Brochet, he used to work for Ubisoft, which you know is mainly a French company. They have some other studios around the world, but they're originally a French company, headquartered in France. Ubisoft had him doing very boring, pointless shit that he didn't like. He didn't feel inspired to do, and that's a very typical thing for these big corporate, soulless companies like Ubisoft. And then Nintendo's a company that just wants to steal everyone else's soul. Ubisoft is a soulless corporation trying to maximize profits, but Nintendo is a soulless corporation trying to maximize profits at the expense of everybody else. If Nintendo could copyright the concept of a game, they would. And they would stop anyone else from being able to make it. They're a horribly evil company. I would take Ubisoft over Nintendo anytime, without question. Nintendo is infinitely worse than Ubisoft could ever try to be. Ubisoft looks outright angelic compared to the assholery that Nintendo's up to. I really do need to make a video on it. Nintendo is by far the worst game company out there right now. It's not even close. Nintendo is the ultimate reigning king of being a shit game company. And the amount of damage they're doing to the industry is immense. At least the amount of damage they're trying to do. They want to take control of everything and shut everything down so that only they can make games. They want to copyright and patent certain basic video game mechanics so that no one else can do it. Stuff like getting on a hang glider, throwing something to capture an enemy or to capture a monster. They're just terrible. I used to love Nintendo, and it's sad to see what they've become. They've become an absolute monstrosity. I mean, it's good that Nintendo of Japan itself hasn't gone woke. They've gone evil in other ways, but Nintendo allows their various branches and satellites to be woke. Like the Nintendo Treehouse went full-on fucking woke insanity. A lot of their localizers are total woke nutcases, lunatics. They allow a lot of woke garbage to be put in their games by other parties. It would be nice if, among all the evil that Nintendo does, they at least stand up against the evil of wokeness, but they don't. I think a lot of that has to do with Nintendo of Japan being so disconnected from its other branches and expressions and other forms. What's the most incompetent gaming company in your opinion? Asked Maggie. Wow, incompetent. That's a good question. There are a lot of them that are pretty bad at it. Nintendo is not incompetent so much as they are malicious and evil. Intentionally maliciously evil. So I wouldn't say Nintendo's incompetent. When they file bogus patents or bogus lawsuits, they're not doing it because they think they have a valid lawsuit and they can win. They know they can't win. They're filing those lawsuits to crush the target with lawfare. They have so much money that it's impossible to beat them at the legal game.
I don't understand.
If you had unlimited funds, you could beat Nintendo at just about every lawsuit they file, because pretty much every lawsuit Nintendo files is bullshit, and Nintendo knows it. So Nintendo, not incompetent, just maliciously evil. Horrible, horrible, evil company. So the most incompetent, I don't know if I could say there's a most incompetent one. I think a lot of them show a high degree of incompetence. Squaresoft ranks pretty high up there in incompetence. They have so much they could make that is so amazing. And instead, they put out shit that feels like it should be AA, like coming from a AA studio. It might be Squaresoft at this point. They used to be so amazing, and they fucked up so much, and they're just not what they used to be. You have to look elsewhere for good JRPGs. And I consider this a JRPG, even though it's not made in Japan, because that's not what that means. Japanese role-playing game is a genre. It's like saying Swiss cheese. Swiss cheese doesn't mean cheese made in Switzerland. It means it's a type of cheese that can be made anywhere. It originated in Switzerland, that's why it's called Swiss cheese. But if you go to the store and you see a package of Swiss cheese and it says made in America, that doesn't mean it's not Swiss cheese. It just means it's made somewhere else. This happens to be a JRPG made in France. Does a JRPG have to be anime style? I don't think so. Many of them are. Does a JRPG have to even be turn-based? Good question. These are questions I don't have all the answers to. Genres are never super well defined. When it comes to game genres, many games kind of break from genre limitations and strict definitions, and they sort of branch out to the point where, have we already been through this area? Yes. And they sort of branch out where they cross over between multiple genres. Is this just a role-playing game? No, it's also a third-person shooter, as you're seeing here. I think this is the way to go. Man, I'm turned around. When you get into combat, and then you come out of combat, sometimes you can get turned around as to what direction you were going.
An advantage.
Let's go this way and hope this is the path. And let's hope I'm not going backwards. Skipping enemies also makes it harder to tell which way to go, because if you kill all the enemies, then if you get turned around and you're going backwards, you can kind of tell because there are no enemies there. They're all dead. Yeah, I think Monoko is going to be the best for doing damage. That's interesting. I never would have thought that. I could never get him to do very good damage normally, but it looks like he's your ultimate shooter dude. He's the Pew Pew King. Monoko for Pew Pew. 2025. All right, Monoko, do your thing here, buddy. Hell yeah, look at that damage. That's like 3 times what Mael was doing. Though it's not always the same, but hey, you know. He's doing 2 to 3 times the damage of Mael. But Lune can hit multiple targets, so that's a factor. So that makes Lune better when you're fighting more than one enemy at a time. A lot of situational stuff in this game, like Pictos and Lumina, that depend on the exact circumstances.
An advantage.
We don't need that journal. I know it's a shiny, and you feel the need to pick up all the shinies, but that shiny's not going to do anything for us. How do I get back? There we go. Sometimes you can kind of get lost if you don't realize there's a grapple point nearby. And some of the grapple points are quite a ways out, and it'd be easy to not notice them. One of these, I feel like you can get the whatchamacallit from, but I forget which one. The baguette weapons and all that stuff. Alright. Am I going in the right direction here? Where is the ultimate path we need to take? Is it over there? Is it over there? Is it there? Is it there? It's maybe there? Maybe here? It's this way! I knew I was close. I just had to look in the right direction. Expedition 00. Although they just say 0. But they felt the need to put 2 zeros on it, just for consistency's sake. Alright, story-based fight up here. It's a kind of a spoiler, even if I skip all the dialogue to the best of my ability. So heads up. It's not a... I mean, you know, it's not super spoilerific if you don't know what's going on, but it will kind of reveal something. Best combat song in the game, according to many people. I think this one's called... Let me look it up real quick before I screw up the name. This one is called Un Vieil ta Mère. Un Vieil ta Mère. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Un Vieil ta Mère. I actually sometimes listen to this song while driving around at work. Alright, do headshots do more? They sure as hell do. They do about double. But they slow us down so much, it's not worth it. I don't want to slow down that much to try to get the headshots. But if you're not doing good damage and you're worried about the fight, you'll definitely want to slow down and make headshots. Redwa, you're going down. Especially now that Monoko's here. Alright, Monoko, what are you doing for your first shot? Let's see it. 83,000. And that wasn't even a critical. What would that have been on a critical? Over 100,000. Alright, we're about to break this boy. He's gonna break. I just know it. And... Come on, break. Break, you idiot. Break! Well, we didn't get the break. I thought for sure we would. Oh, and he's down for the count. Can't skip this, sorry.
Your sister deserves more.
Can't skip the dialogue during the battles. It's the White Lion. It's Elden Ring. Which boss in Elden Ring had the like white lion dude on him? I can't remember which one that was. The one that went full anime warrior Super Saiyan level 9000 Dragon Ball Z mode. Oh shit, I dodged way too early. My bad, guys. Fuck. I wasn't ready for that. I'm not used to having to dodge anything. We kill everything before it can hit us. He got all his health back. He went into chromatic mode. He's all grayed out. Monochrome style. We're doing a little less damage now, but not a lot less. Horalu, yes, it was Horalu. I thought the Horalu moment felt out of place in Elden Ring. My friend that I was telling you about, he loved it. He thought it was awesome. I thought it was very out of place. Oh, Minoko. What happened to you? You didn't get many shots off. Oh, Minoko, you gotta get more than that, dude. You're my hard hitter. I don't remember this. Oh, come on. I screwed up all of them. Look at me. Total noob. Total noob move. Oh, I'm still screwed it up. I skipped the attack because we're not doing counters. Godwin's wrestler persona. Although the lion, he doesn't become a lion. It's just like attached to him, right? If I remember correctly. It's been so long since I played Elden Ring. And he's broken. That's why we missed a bunch of shots. I was shooting above him. But he's dead. From the burn. Feel the burn. Get the nice bouncy jiggly boobs in the cutscenes there. Unavoidable story stuff up here. Revelations through what you see. We have not died once
Outside.
in this playthrough. But then again,
She's there.
I think other than Simon, I didn't die once in my regular New Game Plus playthrough. My second time through the game, my first New Game Plus playthrough, I never died. I was just parrying so much that other than Simon, I never died. Now, yes, Simon did kill me. But if you played the game and fought Simon, you'll know why. Is that motion blur? It almost looks like there is a motion blur being applied. Not gonna worry about it. This is the paintress, y'all. So we can get more damage on the head, but like I said, I don't want to have to take time to aim. We need so many shots, it slows it down too much to keep aiming at the head. As long as I can hit her, good enough. She is a very small target. Because of the way some of the AP returns proc and how fast I'm shooting, it'll sometimes kick me out of free aim, thinking I have no action points left, because the proc on the action point return hits after it goes to 0 and kicks me out, which is interesting. So sometimes I have to go back into free aim after it kicks me out to use the rest of my AP. She goes before Minoko, that's interesting. Whoops. I only missed the first one. I wasn't ready for the first one. I got the rest. And we've broken her. She's a broken paintress now. Oh, yeah, look at that. He's doing damage at like 130, almost 140,000. That's insane. Meggie says, maybe I should check more lore videos. some things in Elden Ring don't seem to make any sense. Yeah, I haven't been big into Elden Ring lore, not the way I was with, like, Dark Souls and Bloodborne and whatnot. I've watched very few, like, lore videos on Elden Ring. Okay, I think at this point we just need to skip turn. Story thing. Very visually stunning, incredible fights in this game. Something amazing. It's sad that you don't get to see the crazy camera angles of regular abilities. The way it zooms in, zooms out, goes around with the characters go up in the air and all that. Free aim is the least exciting visually in terms of the actual fighting. It's a bit of a disservice to the game if you only see it in free aim. Why can't I shoot? It says I have 3 left, right? What happened? It says I have 3 AP points. I can't shoot. Oh, I'm looking at my L. Sorry. I was thinking I was on my L. I'm on Lune. Alright, now it makes more sense. Alright, come on, come on, come on. Oh, that wasn't that great. Oh, man, he's running out immediately. What's the deal, Monoko? There we go. Now we got it. Second round was good. Like I said, a lot of this is RNG as to how many shots you get. It depends on how often that 20% AP return procs. Oh, yeah. We broke her. She's broked. She's a broken paintress now. I wonder if this is actually the best way to do damage at this point. Maybe we will try Simon, just for fun. Skip the story. And then there's a revelation here that is unavoidable. Well, actually we avoided it. She died so quickly you didn't get to see what was going to happen. That's for the best. If you want to experience the story, you should do it fresh. Back at camp? Nope. We're gonna definitely got to skip that. Definitely don't want to show that. Don't want to show that either. That'll blow. We're blowing lots of secrets here. All right, this is unavoidable too. What we'll do is, yeah, there's no way to avoid some story spoilers here.
Come along now. I'm in Renoir's atelier.
No, not that way. This way. I'm gonna try to avoid. I don't think there's any way to avoid showing it. It's gonna show it during the dialogue that you could skip through the dialogue, but you have to see it. So there's gonna be a revelation when you see the front of this character. That's why I'm not moving the camera around to the front, but there's no way to avoid it at this point, so it is what it is. If you want to stop watching and just listen for a bit, you can, but hey, Drunken Dwarf, how's it going, man? Welcome. This is a major spoiler that I can't get around to continue, so you're going to see it as soon as I start this dialogue. So I just want to warn people, if you don't want to see a major spoiler. It's coming. It's coming, guys. So if you want to look away or go to a different tab on your browser or something so you can just listen and not see it. It's coming. We've got seconds left, all right, guys? All right, maybe, let's see. Do I have to talk to her or can I skip it? If I can skip talking to her, no, I think we have to talk to her. Let's not show this character's face right now. We're just gonna see the back of the head. Yeah, I have to talk to her and you're gonna see it. That's what I thought. Whoa, there we go. Making sure the face, it doesn't matter, you're gonna see it. All right. You've been warned.
Our parents are quite the stubborn pair. They're still fighting each other inside
Although,
the canvas.
you know what we can do?
He has her imprisoned at the top
We
of the monolith,
can-
and she has him trapped beneath. It's a stalemate.
We can do this. All right, we're going to black for this brief session here,
Yes.
just in case anyone will later care about
I
this.
need you. The conflict.
We're going to skip through this as quick as we can. You're
You're
seeing the black screen. You should be seeing the black screen. That's the way I've set this up for the moment. Don't worry about the black screen. Once we get through this, we will bring the game back up. Okay. I know you've already kind of seen some spoilers through this, but no reason for me to spoil more than I have to. Almost time for the game to come back up. I know you're just staring at me in a black screen here. But at least you get to hear it. You get to hear it. It's like skipping 7 cutscenes in a row. Feels like a Squaresoft game. Squaresoft is the king of making you skip cutscene and then goes to another cutscene and then you skip that cutscene and then it goes to another cutscene and then you skip that cutscene and it goes to another cutscene and then you skip that cutscene and it goes to another cutscene and then you skip that cutscene, and I'm not joking. That's Squaresoft for you. They obsess over their cutscenes. They just think their cutscenes are so fucking awesome. They're not that good.
I'm not at risk like Mama.
They're just really not that good. I think Squaresoft puts way too much emphasis on how they think their cutscenes are just so amazing. I'd like to sit down with them and be like, listen, Square, you used to make great JRPGs. Your cutscenes as of late are just not that great. So please stop having the game be, 75% cutscenes. They're not that special. Final Fantasy 16, I mean, if it focused primarily on the combat in more of an open world and didn't have a fucking cutscene every 5 minutes, it would be such a better game. It is, like, I kind of enjoyed the gameplay of Final Fantasy 16, but all those fucking cutscenes and all that boring-ass, brutally dull dialogue just ruined it. I couldn't get through it. It's just so brutal.
Lune.
I was right.
And what would you...
I wouldn't have.
So you'd...
That's your.
You know what? I didn't have to talk to her.
I don't.
I think we only have to talk to Mael. So we'll skip the others. We need a mod for Final Fantasy 16 where it skips all dialogue and cutscenes. The game would be so much better that way. Oh, we didn't get the paint power yet. Whatever, we don't need it. It's all optional stuff you unlock with the paint. The paint spire breaking power.
We have to put.
Okay, I just have to mash through this. I can't do a full, like, straight up skip, but you can mash through it. So there we go. And then I blasted her. The reason I blasted her is F is the key to skip dialogue, and F is also the key to blast your paint power. So it's funny, if you're gonna mash the button through dialogue, you end up blasting the character in the face. It's unavoidable. I should speak with everyone. Oh, I do have to talk with everyone.
Save it. I don't. You did.
Yes, Maggie, the endless exposition with no voice acting and anime cutouts. God, man. Squaresoft. Yes, you know what, Maggie? I think I will say Squaresoft is probably the most incompetent developer right now. I mean, their games usually play okay. They perform all right. It's not so much a technical issue as it is their story structure, their emphasis on boring-ass walk and talks, boring, brutally dull dialogue, boring, brutally dull cutscene after cutscene after cutscene after cutscene after cutscene. It's a slog to get through a Squaresoft game nowadays. It really is. I've almost given up on them. Alrighty. We're coming close to the point where we can actually just end the run. We've done it. We have the ability to fly. At this point, you are at in-game. You can now choose to go straight to the final in-game boss or explore the world and find all of these areas you couldn't get to before because you need flight to get to a ton of optional content. And when I say a ton, I'm talking like doubling the amount of game time.
Once we're ready,
Playtime.
we can head to
Z key brings up Fatty McFatface here. And then jump, puts you in the air. Left mouse button raises you, right mouse button lowers you. That is kind of weird. That takes some getting used to, the mouse buttons lowering and raising. But it makes sense, I guess. Drunken Dwarf says they've been going down since the Square Enix merger. Yeah, it's very true. Square Enix is like me in terms of their success. They're a has-been. They're still having some degree of success, but nothing like they used to. Just like me. So, on YouTube. Should we even bother with Dark Shores? Nah. This is actually the area that you technically start the game in, but it's a cutscene. You don't get to explore it. You only see it in a cutscene. And one of these ships here is the ship you came on, I believe. I don't know which one, but one of these should actually be the ship that you arrived on. The question is, which one? We will never know. I don't know if we can ever know. So, let's just try Simon, get our asses kicked most likely. I don't think we yet have the ability to dive. Oh no, we do. Unfortunately, when I got the dive ability, I thought that meant there was an underwater component to this world, and there was stuff under the water to discover. There's not. All the dive lets you do is this. That's it. Kind of disappointing calling that dive. He just picks up items from these little blue pools. That's good that you can do that, but calling that dive was very misleading. I thought there was going to be an underwater exploration component to the game. There's not. We can kill this Bourgeon. I always like fighting them, even if it doesn't matter. Lots of stuff in the world to pick up. Lots of places to go. Lots of things to discover. This guy's going to die so fast. Or not. Actually, he's got a lot more health than I thought he would. Woo! And he's not even chromatic. A lot of the optional things you can encounter at this point will be very powerful. Or at least should be if you're not like maxed out on everything like I am. Meggie says, last Square Enix game I bought was Romancing Saga 2 Remake. Yeah, it's at this point, I mean, even the Final Fantasy VII Remake, I'm sorry, I think it's just, it's more of the same long, boring-ass cutscene bullshit, lots of boring walk and talks, lots of boring dialogue. Very disappointing, very disappointing. I gave it a shot. I think I actually bought the first one when it went on sale on PC. I couldn't get through it. The combat was kind of fun, but there's so little of it compared to all the boring fucking dialogue, man. It's a talky-talk game. You don't... Oh, I didn't even notice those other enemies were with them. I was so focused on the Bourgeon. I was like, why is the battle still going? Why are we still here? There's 2 more enemies. You'll notice if you kill a Bourgeon, I think that's how it's pronounced. I'm trying to be as French as I can here, guys, okay? I'm not French, as you can tell. The Bourgeon drop a skin item that goes into your inventory as a quest item. You can use that for a quest. Let's go. Normally this performs a lot better than this. The performance is terrible right now for some strange reason. Probably because I'm streaming. By the way, look at all this stuff you can find. There was no way to get to this flying casino without being able to fly. There's so much stuff that unlocks. Oh, let's try this asshole. This guy was such a pain in the ass to beat. Because what he'll do is he'll put a bunch of shields on himself. Then he'll suck away all of your AP points. All of them. Leaving you with no action points. Then he likes to reapply the shields. And then again suck away all your AP. So it's quite the challenge to figure out how to take him down. It's a unique fight. And this guy, Verso, complains that this Serpent Fair killed him. Oh, look, here he goes. Watch. Boom. I have no AP now. Whoops. I still dodged it, even though my timing was terrible. But it still counted. I just didn't get it perfect. Okay, I got a few AP back for turn start. He has not applied any shields yet. But the good news is, is that? Okay, yes, it is doing damage. The shields will not matter because we shoot through shields. So this guy shouldn't be too tough. But it sucks that we don't get to use our full 9 AP at the start of the battle. We all go down to turn start AP instead of battle start AP. And they swapped out Verso. I wanted Monoko. I need to get him back. He's my real damage dealer.
My turn.
Oh boy. Actually, how much am I doing any damage to him with the shots? It's not, is it? Yeah, it's not even doing any damage. He's just absorbing it all. Is that because it's void? Alright, well, let's just skip her turn. The burn is still proccing, so the burn is doing a lot of damage. That doesn't do any damage either, and that's not void. So I guess he's immune to free aim shots. But it does apply burn stacks, so though 94 burn stacks is way more than we need. We don't need to stack anymore. So nothing to do there then, I guess. Shooting doesn't seem to do any good. Yep, nothing there either. We can stack a bunch of shit and status effects, or, you know, get some things to proc, but it's not actually doing any damage. Interesting. That's how they get around the fact that you can shoot through a shield with the proper Lumina. They just make shooting this thing do no damage.
Get ready.
I totally botched that.
A storm is coming.
Did I pick anything up from the Steam sale? I did. I think I only bought one thing, though. I can't remember what it was. Alright, well, we stacked a bunch of shit on them. Let's just skip the turn. This won't take too long, but at this point, I don't know if I can really do anything else other than stack burn and wait for the burn to proc. So this guy cannot be killed directly by the shots. I dodged it with Mael and Lune, but Verso didn't dodge because he's still stunned. He also gets rid of the burn stacks somehow. Because we did have 90 some on him, and now he's got far less, so we'll stack some more burn just for good measure. Just to make sure he doesn't go to 0. We don't want a turn to go by with him at 0, then he won't take damage. He's back. Welcome back, Verso. Alright, that's enough. We're just gonna have to wait out the burn stacks at this point. Excuse me. Just keep those burn stacks on him and wait it out, I guess. So because we're not hitting him normally, he's not doing any of his other moves, which is kind of a shame. This guy is best experienced the normal way. It's a fun but frustrating fight. You have to think differently, and you'll probably have to switch out maybe your weapon or your Pictos and Lumina to be able to beat him. I had to reevaluate my characters in terms of what I had equipped, because I could not beat him the way my characters were normally. So, cool fight. Oh, look at the burn. It went way down. I don't know how exactly that's working. I thought the burn hit once per turn. One stack per turn. But let's just stack a whole bunch of burn, and maybe that'll do more damage depending on what I have equipped. I don't know everything about this game. There's so much to it, it would be hard to actually know everything. I keep dodging way too early. I'm screwing that up. We're all stunned. But we're back. Keep the burn stacks high. Verso's back. It seems he also nullifies a lot. I don't get my 2 turns per player. Somehow he's nullified the cheater. This dude's a real jerkwad. He really messes up your flow. Drunken Dwarf saying, I hate having to respec my characters. Well, when I said that, you don't have to respec your levels, which is easy enough with a recoat. You can get a lot of those. You just have to redo how you set up your Pictos Lumina and what weapon you choose. You'll want a weapon that takes his shields away. Barrier Breaker is it. I already have that equipped. Let's stack the burn and then skip turn. Got it. Even a perfect. That's kind of a tough one because you always want to dodge way too early. This is the closest we've come to dying so far on this playthrough. Not surprised though, he's a kind of a tricky guy. He changes it up. There's no other fight quite like this one in the game. If I stack up enough burn, will he die in one more shot? I think so. Let's find out. Alright, we got 150 burn stacked on this dude. You think that's enough? Should we stack some more? Should we get that shit to 200 if possible? 200 burn stacks, that's insane. 167, we didn't make quite 200. Alright, let's skip. It's his turn. Oh, he didn't die, not even close. Well, we'll just get those burn stacks back up higher. Apparently not high enough. I'm running out of AP. Because he keeps stealing it. There we go. He blew himself up. 2,250,000 experience points. That would be useful in leveling if I weren't already maxed out. I'm already level 99 on all the characters. You can max your characters on New Game. It's not that hard. You just got to take a little time to grind it out. So... it's nice. It doesn't take forever. Nothing in this game really takes that long. You know, 200,000 damage sounds good if you don't know a lot about the game. So I don't know how much you know about Drunken Dwarf, but you can get some attacks to be over 100 million. Before they nerfed it, I got, without trying too hard to min-max everything, I got Mayel to do over 77 million damage with a single hit using her Stendhal ability. I have seen pre-patch, because they patched it to lower the damage, I've seen a pre-patch damage amount for Mayel in the billions. No joke. Like 5 billion or something like that. Essentially, before the patch, probably even after, but before the patch, Mayel could one-shot everything in the game, including the most difficult boss of the game. That's how I first beat Simon. I just used my L pre-patch and one-shot him. The most damage you did was 45k. Yeah, once you get painted power, you can exceed 9,999. And then, if you know what you're doing, even after they patched it, if you use my L with Stendhal, you can still get like 110 million damage in a single hit. One hit with your skill. It's crazy. And Guillaume Brochet said he knows that people can create broken builds, and he wants that. He wants people to be able to create insane broken builds. But it's an end game thing. You can't get to that point until you're near the end of the game. So it doesn't ruin the early game because you can't do that sort of min-maxing. You don't have access to all the tools for it, like all the Pictos and Lumina and weapons and all that stuff. So Verso seems to be the weakest on this guy, but it may be because they're resistant to his light power. Weapons can have just basic physical damage, and they can also have elemental damage. And whatever the elemental damage is on your weapon, that is what you shoot with. So if your weapon is a fire element, your shots are fire as well. So if the thing is immune to fire, every shot would just serve to heal it. If something has an immunity, it actually causes it to heal from those attacks. So if there's a fire-based enemy, and Lune has a fire-based attack, she will actually heal the enemy with each hit. However, Mael later in the game can get void damage, and I don't think anything is immune to void damage. I don't even think anything's resistant to it. By the way, interesting thing, watch this, guys. You see that thing in the middle? Watch what happens if you shoot it. It absorbs the damage. I loved how they did that, because you see that thing in the middle and your first thought is, oh, that's got to be the weak point. I bet you I'll do extra damage hitting that. It's kind of like the head. Oh yeah, here we go. Bam. All the damage is absorbed. That's like the void component of it. You don't want to hit that. You get 0 damage from it. Very clever, Sandfall. Very clever. Because that's the first thing you think of shooting, is that little black sphere in the middle. And it'll do nothing. It can still proc things like burn stacks and all that, but it won't do any direct damage. Notice on the side of the screen on the right, it'll show you all of the Lumina and Pictos you have equipped that are affecting your current move. So watch on the right. See all that shit that just pops up right there? That's everything that's applying to what I'm currently doing. And it changes based on what else is being applied. It's crazy. It's Level Coast, the man with the questions. He always comes with questions. Where are you from? The United States of America. U.S. born and raised, though I have not been here my whole life. I lived in Japan for about 3.5 years. How long do I think the wait is for the next Sandfall game? If I had to guess, not knowing any inside info, I would say probably 5 years, 4 or 5 years, if they're actively working on another one right now. Let's skip these guys. There we go. I just want to make sure they don't catch me if they chase me. This is possibly one of the most difficult parts of the game in terms of the enemies and their health and their damage. This may be the most challenging area of the game. These are some very high level, very powerful enemies, and they hit very hard. Okay. That's not so much a weak point as it is a trigger to undo one of his debuffs. And since we don't have it now, there's no point in shooting it right now. But if he applies Blight to you, reducing your total health, shooting that lantern, I believe, will undo it. It'll undo 1 level of Blight per turn, possibly. I don't know. I usually just tank through the Blight, because when you parry everything, it doesn't matter if he reduces your health. You don't get hit. If you're not taking hits, it doesn't matter how low your health is. There's even a Lumina or a Pictos that will start your character at 1 health every battle. Oh, busted him up pretty good. And I broke the lantern. Oh, she's out. Level Coast says, you sound southern. I do sometimes talk like it. I know quite a few southern people. Have some southern friends. Nice try, buddy. I'm dodging it. I'm dodging it. But oh, there's nothing you can do about Blight. You always take Blight. I grew up in the northern Midwest, in an area that many people considered like the standard American dialect, or the one that typically doesn't get referred to as having an accent, even though there's no such thing as no accent. But it's perceived, whatever the most common or standard dialect is in a country, that one is perceived as plain, vanilla, and the other things are considered to have accents. But technically, it's not possible not to have an accent. You always have an accent. Minnesota accent. I don't think I have an accent that is unique to one specific area, like not like, you know, say Chicago or New York or New Jersey or Alabama or something like that. You know what I mean? Oh, my cursor went over to the second monitor. I have to hit the right click button to go into shooting mode, and I kept right clicking, and I'm like, why am I not? Oh, I'm right clicking on the Windows desktop on my second monitor. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Try it, buddy. Just try it. Oh, perfect. Perfect dodge. Oh, he's gonna blight us. Oh, there's no way to get rid of the blight if you've already blown the lantern. So I guess it's like a one-time deal, huh? Does it do more damage to hit the ball sack he's holding on to? I can't tell because it keeps applying mark, and that kind of screws up the numbers. Like I said, guys, it's just so fun that you could shoot as fast as you can click. No delay. Well done, Sandfall. You guys know how to make this game fun. No bullshit delay. Squaresoft would have put a bullshit delay. Like I said, Maggie, I think the answer to your question is Squaresoft is probably the most incompetent developer right now. They're sitting on so much and just ruining it. I dodged way too early. Still counted, but that was lame. I'm embarrassed by how early that dodge was. I hope you didn't see it. Pretend you guys didn't see it, okay? Just pretend it didn't happen. It wasn't real. Kind of like the election that Biden supposedly won. It was fake, alright, guys? It was all fake. Of course, maybe every election is fake. Food for thought. Maybe elections just give the illusion that you have some input on the direction of your government. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm saying it's a possibility, you know? Please don't deplatform me, YouTube. Perfect. Okay? I remember I told you these guys are some of the toughest in the game. You notice how long this fight is taking? This is a very high-level in-game enemy. And the blight effect can be pretty brutal, because if you look down there in the lower right now, do you see how much health Verso and Lune have? And do you see how much total health they have? It's 1 out of 1. I've been blighted down to 1 health. Now, it doesn't go any lower. Blight cannot kill you with a blight application, but at that point, if anything damaged you at all, you would die instantly. My status effect is blight times 12. Reduces max HP by 10% per stack. Whatever, don't care. I don't plan on taking damage. When you're not gonna take damage, it doesn't matter how much health you have. It's irrelevant.
Not giving up.
So the story kind of messed up my party in my outfits, so I got to reset those. When certain story events occur, it changes your character's outfits and also who's in your party. Done. That was one of the longest fights of this playthrough. Goodbye, Verso. Hello, Monoko. I want to play Lune, or I'm sorry, CL, but Monoko just does so much damage with his weapon being a plus, you know, a 100% more damage per free aim shot. I can't pass that up. 100% more damage on a free aim shot, every one of them. All right, let's... Who should we take out first? This guy. Woo! They got health. All right, we're out. We're out. We're out of ammo. And we're back. We got to refill. Whoops, missed a few of those shots. My bad. She's in Virtuous stance, so she's doing 200% damage. But she'll lose the Virtuos after the first turn. So then her damage will go back down to standard 100%. Whoops. You can't skip your turn while in free aim mode. Boom, done. I love it. Color of Lumina times 1. You can farm Color of Lumina. So you could have an endless supply of adding Lumina points to your characters.
Nice.
There's no limit. Whoop.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, you know what? We need to change Mael's outfit here. Let's see. Will it? Okay, it reset. All right. It made it look like it was going to be her regular head. By the way, watch what happens if you don't use... We're going to do it with Lune just so no one freaks out and has a hissy fit over it. And it's like, Mael's 16. Hurt. Because they don't know the difference between fake characters. I mean, Mael's character in the game, they could have told you she was 26 and no one would bat an eye at it. And her voice actor's like 30-something years old. It's all fake anyway. It's not real. All right, so watch Lune here. You ready for this? This is what happens if you try to use their regular head with this mod instead of the Nier Automata 2B head. Yeah. See how the head doesn't follow the body? And it, like, when you bounce, the head like bounces up like it's coming off. Just decapitation there. A lot of decapitation jumping. So, yeah, you don't want to do that. So you're stuck, unfortunately, using this head. I wish you could use this mod with their regular faces. I wouldn't with Mael, just so that crazy lunatics don't try to, like, report my channel or some bullshit, because they don't know how reality works. All right, let's do this. Yeah, it's pretty silly, isn't it, Maggie? It's pretty stupid. We'll fight these guys. These guys are some of the toughest normal enemies in the game. Creation. All right, what do you think happens if you shoot the big black hole void thingy? Nothing. It absorbs it. Don't shoot it. This might take a while. I did almost a million. I did almost 500,000 damage, and look how little of their bar moved. I'm gonna count on Minoko to do the good damage here.
No margin for error.
Lune's still at 1 health point, but hopefully she doesn't die. I don't plan on taking damage, but we'll see. Oh boy. Maybe we shouldn't have fought these guys. You can actually skip them. Oh yeah, Minoko coming through with the damage, man. He's our damage dealer. Too bad we can't get him in a 2B outfit. That would be the ultimate. Minoko's definitely not eye candy, that's for sure. We got Lune in what was Mael, and now 2B. That's our eye candy. Alright, well, we're gonna have to endure 2 of their turns. Inverted, I don't give a shit. I have that applied to me anyway. I like it. You can't heal yourself while inverted, but I almost never heal. I dodged way early, but it still counted. That one too. I got a wide, you know, dodging, you can dodge so much earlier than you can parry. Dodging gives you a lot of leeway. Shooting those does nothing. Though they are used for an attack, but you can't, like, destroy them, though. So I don't think there's any way to avoid the attack. Some cases, if something's floating around an enemy, you can shoot it, and then that enemy will lose the ability to use it against you. Oh, yeah. We broke him. He's broken. Can we kill him on Lune's turn? Can we kill him on Lune's turn? Yes, he's down. Oh, that was her literal last shot. Killed him on her last shot. All right, Minoko. We're counting on you to do a lot of damage. You better make this count, boy. Okay. Okay, that sucked, Minoko. What happened? Why'd you run out of ammo like that? You're really not helping here, okay? Minoko! You gotta keep going. Oh, man. He got nothing in terms of the procs on that AP return. He's the one I want the AP return with, if anybody. I'm not going to get donkey kicked by this thing. It's a hard hit, and it pretty much always stuns you. You can apply an anti-stun Lumina, and that'll stop that. But if you get kicked and you don't have an anti-stun, you're stunned. That's like a guaranteed stun. A melee combo, eh? Oh yeah, all perfect. Nice. And once he goes up into the air, he gets some other abilities, and he gets serious. He also applies 6 shields. Good thing we don't give a shit about shields. That don't mean anything to us. We keep rolling regardless. Alright, we're out.
Let's push forward.
Whew, boy. Keeps kicking me out because of the way they programmed that AP return. All right, Minoko, come on now. We're at 9. We want you to keep rolling through this. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't. Oh, Minoko. Do I not have something equipped on him that I need? He seems to run out before the others. Hell yeah, there we go. Maggie says, noticed how many official Yorha 2B cameos in many games and forms of characters, events, and DLC? Yes. She is a extremely popular character, and there's a good reason why. There's a good reason why. You make a good character, and people will like that character. And if you're going to make a really good female character in a game, you should probably give her some sex appeal, because that will make it more popular. It's just how it is. And then men will like it more, and women will want to cosplay as it. You know how it works. He knew what he was doing when he made 2B, and it paid off for him. A lot of women love 2B as well. All right, guys. We're coming up to what is unquestionably going to be the hardest fight of this playthrough. I can't see it any other way. He doesn't ever apply shields unless you have shields on. He steals them from you. So the fact we can shoot through shields is not going to change anything here. I'm really curious how this is going to go. I think this is going to be our first death of this playthrough. I think we're going to die. Although I always parry him, so maybe the wider dodge window will help out here in avoiding damage.
Turn back. I sense something powerful down this path.
When Verso says maybe we should turn back, you might want to take him up on that. It's a good idea to wait until you've made your characters as powerful as possible before taking on this character, this boss. So you fall into the abyss, and then once you approach up here, that's when the fight begins with Artorias. We definitely actually want to rest here. We got 57 Lumina. I guess we'll give them a bunch more, although we're getting to the point now where we're running out of things to equip that don't conflict with other things. So I think we're kind of maxing out what we can do with this Lumina. Because we're getting to the point where anything else, like a lot of things we'd equip, would either be irrelevant and not really do anything for us, or they would conflict with something else. Deal 50% more damage if health is below 10. That's a good one for this, because this boss will have an unavoidable attack that sets your health to 1. So that'll give us 50% more damage for most of the fight, because he'll do it a lot. We cannot heal ourselves because we have additional damage bonuses that also make it impossible to heal. We'll equip that one too. Counterattack, those don't help us because we're not doing counterattacks. Anything that helps you while fighting alone is a good idea, because chances are one of your characters is going to end up by themselves with the others dead. Anything improving base attack is useless. We're not doing base attacks. Extend powerful, that might be helpful. Don't apply shields. He will just steal them for himself, and then now the fight is harder if you don't have a way to pierce shields. I don't know if we're applying any slow. He has insane agility, so he gets a lot of turns. Even if you're at 99 agility, he'll still have a lot of turns. If you don't have max agility, you probably don't even want to try this boss unless you're going for a counterattack only run. Shell might help because I think I'm going to take some damage here. I'm going to get hit. I don't like Break Specialist because your base damage is reduced by 20. That might work. We can put his break bar at full if we die, and there's a good chance we're going to die. At least one of the characters will die. Powerful if fighting alone, there's a good chance the characters will end up by themselves after the other two die. I'll do shortcut because he puts you at 1 health, and then shortcut would proc, and you would immediately get a turn. So this affects free aim, but the problem is after a free aim shot, it increases your base damage from your base attack, but we're not doing base attacks, so it's irrelevant. We're not healing because we can't. And play again on breaking a target. That, I don't see that as super useful. given how rarely you're going to actually break a target. Gain shell for 1 turn on base, useless because we're not doing base attacks. Apply powerful on applying shell. That would be useful if we're applying shell. I'm not sure if we are. Let's go back up to at death's door. We definitely want that. That'll give us 50% more health for most of the fight because he sets us at 1 health. Gain rush if fighting alone. That could help. Meggie says, was it Overwatch 2 that made 2B skin ugly? Which one was it that made it look horrifically awful? They basically made 2B look like a man. Kill self on battle start. Now, auto death might seem like a really dumb Pictos. And by itself, it is. Why would you want to just kill yourself when the fight starts? It depends on what else you have equipped. That can actually benefit you. And it only costs 1 point, but you have to have a very specific build to make that worthwhile. Fully charged enemies break bar on death, so when he kills one of us, the next hit can break him. What else do we want on here? None of the charging stuff, because we can't use gradient attacks, which sucks because gradient attacks can be amazing. We're not doing base attacks. 50% increased critical rate if health is below. Yep, that'll be useful. We're going to spend most of the time with 1 point of health. On death, deal damage to all enemies. See, I don't think that deals enough damage to be worth it on a boss this powerful. Gain powerful fighting alone. Good chance one of your characters will end up alone on this fight. On death, 4 AP to allies. Just 4 AP, I mean, that isn't going to make a big difference. Breaking a target doubles its burn amount. That could be useful, but we're not going to be able to outlast him by dodging and all that shit. It's his second phase that's going to be the problem. This may be the first time you see me actually revive characters in this playthrough. Play immediately when revived. Yeah, there's a good chance someone's going to get revived here. 15% increased damage for each status effect. Okay. All right, and then I think we've selected all the characters we're actually using. I don't know why I guess I did CL just for the hell of it. Actually, you know what? We do want to do them all because, well, yeah, he doesn't have anything extra. Neither does he. Because at one point, no matter how well you're playing, that this will be the last thing we do in this. It's gotten quite later than I expected. At one point in the second phase, when you get his health down low enough, he will erase your whole party, and you'll have to rely on your backup, your reserve team. And it's unavoidable. All right, let's just make sure it's saved, because there's a good chance we're going to die here. All right, you guys ready for this? You ready to see me get my ass kicked? Well, I guess you want to see that ass get kicked, huh? All right, this is it. If we don't win in the first shot, that's the end of the stream. If we win in the first shot, that's the end of the stream. This is just the first phase. It's very easy. Well, relatively. It's still a hard fight in the first phase, but it's the second phase that's the problem. You see his health bar. There's no way we're gonna do this. This is not happening. Because this is the easy phase. Whoops. I hit the wrong button. Already down. Notice he did 14,000 damage with one shot. 14,000 damage with one hit of a combo. He had a whole combo and did that much damage. Oh, he doesn't move much. It's easy to keep hitting his head. That actually benefits us. I can focus on the head and not have to slow down too much. He already put Minoko at 1 health. Unavoidable move, so there's nothing you can do about it. Oh, that was terrible timing, but it still counted for me. 1 hit from him and any one of his combos can kill one of my characters at full health. I gotta keep moving the mouse down ever so slightly to make sure I keep it on his head, because it'll go up slightly with the shots. So you have to actually aim your shots on this guy. Bad timing on that one, but it still counted. It just wasn't a perfect dodge. Okay, we didn't miss. That's good. Whew. There's no way we're getting through his second phase. He's got so much more health in his second phase. It would just take so long. But don't worry, he'll kill me pretty quickly once we get to phase 2. Well, that didn't last long on Minoko.
Gooning, watch out.
Okay. If we can... Oh, well. Now everyone's at 1 health. But that'll help us do more damage. Alright, we're getting through it a lot faster at 1 health with all the characters at 1 health. Okay.
Danger.
None of these combos are really that hard to dodge or block, or parry rather. It's phase 2 and you'll see why.
Let the
Phase 2 goes way over the top insane. Alright, well, we're gonna make it to the phase 2. That's good. That's something. Alright. Okay, wish me luck here, guys. You ready for me to die? First death of the playthrough.
take cover.
Oh, well, he's our whole team wiped out. I mean, we could bring in the reserves, but it's kind of pointless. Oh, yeah, I forgot we'd come back. But we're still going to get our asses kicked. Oh, I messed that up. God dang it. Okay, I'm still alive. And he's setting us all back at 1. Oh, shoot, I missed him. But because we died, we could instantly break him. Are we doing any damage at all? Oh gosh, you see that health bar up there? This is chip damage. He comes out of his stun immediately. All of his attacks from his previous phase now have a second follow-up attack immediately after it. So the 3-hit combo is a 6-hit combo. Eventually it'll become 3 attacks in a row instead of that simple 1. It gets pretty crazy. Okay, we're out. Usually I start this fight with Mael Stendhal to try to get his health down a little bit. Do that super first hit that does so much damage because it's the first hit. I made it. It's much harder to parry because you have shorter timing windows. This ain't happening. We're just not doing enough damage. And this isn't even his most intense yet. He gets more intense than this when he gets lower on health. He adds a third attack to each hit of his combo. So each hit of each combo requires 3 separate dodges. So you have to time 3 separate dodges on each hit of each combo. Alright, we're not really getting the damage we need here. It's doable, it's just... Oh shit, I dodged too early from the very beginning. Now he's gonna erase my L if he gets a chance. Oh, he didn't get a chance. Okay. We'll revive her. Oh, I mean, that was Lune. They look the same. There's just a slight difference in height. Okay, we broke them because somebody died. So we can use their death to help us break the enemy. That might be the strategy. Just make sure he kills one character and then hit him while he's broken. Well, her health is down to 1. He doesn't let you stay up on your health for very long. But it is so much easier to dodge him than it is to parry. I didn't realize how much wider the dodge windows are.
Not looking good. Brace yourself.
Oh, I was doing so well. I don't think you can win at this point because he'll erase your team later and you won't have a reserve team to bring in, so it's pointless to bring in the reserve team. He'll just wipe out the team as he gets to like a quarter health. First death of the playthrough. Told you it'd be Simon, but that was an easy guess. All right. We're going to call it quits there. This went on much longer than I expected. I don't normally stream this long. It's not really that long of a stream, but on the weekdays and the evenings, I try not to stream for you like 5-6 hours or something crazy. All right, well, we died. We got farther than I thought we would. I'll give you that. I mean, we made it to his second phase and actually did an okay amount of damage, but he still ended that. Simon's definitely the toughest fight of the game, no question. He's also totally optional, so you don't have to do Simon. But anyway, guys, thanks for joining me. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, like the video. If you haven't liked it, that apparently really helps out. And if you're watching this after the fact later, it's not a live stream, you're just watching the pre-recorded video, give the video a like and leave a comment down below. But that is it for this edition of the Pew Pew Only Expedition. I'm Fox with the G3 Brigade. Gaming, Grifting, and Gooning is out. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much.